In the world of Radio Shock Jock, the biggest are Opie and Anthony.
These people say shocking things that border on offensive in order to entertain their audience.
I refuse to sit here and think that radio has to be nice. Why? Why does radio, out of any other medium, have to be nice? We are being now held to a standard where we have to be nice and make people feel good. Go screw!
Radio bad boys, Opie and Anthony.
Controversial radio personalities, Opie and Anthony.
Infamous DJs, Opie and Anthony.
Talk show radio hosts, Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Radio shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony.
What happened to you? I put 380 to my chest and I pulled the trigger.
Hey, how did help show up for you? The question is, why did help show up for you?
This is where entertainment is going.
They are sick freaks.
Right, so you're kind of like transvestite or transsexual. Sorry. Okay.
On your underwear, do you have a sign that says, "Pardon our appearance, we're remodeling"? This is the worst. The worst show This is the worst show I've ever been on.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Well, if A was pushed, then this would happen.
Oh, A.
Oh, Christ.
A.
And this has to be pushed. How about we set up the studio before we get in here, huh? That's all we ask. That has to be in program. That has to be in A. I guess I could do that job, too. Why not? Good morning. Welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show. Hola. Tim has no clue I'm talking about him over there. Look at him. He's just fiddling with other things. Has no idea that there were two major things wrong with the studio today. He's still fiddling. Has no clue we're talking about him in the other room.
Fiddling.
He's
twisting wires together.
Yeah, that's always good. Problem? What's up, Dan?
I think, ironically, he's working on that speaker so he can hear you in the other room.
He can't hear because...
Can you hear us, Tim? Thumbs up now? We had a couple things wrong in the studio today.
Thumbs up.
What? I fixed them. Don't worry about it. I'm on top of it. That has to be A. That has to be program. See? Yeah. Phone number 877-212-ONA. Say hi to Brad in Boston. What's up, Brad?
Good morning, boys.
Good morning, Brad.
On behalf of Red Sox Nation, I would like to apologize to you and ask you, who do you want to win the World Series?
Of course I want the Sox to go all the way. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, the curse is done. Take it easy.
And then people in Cleveland are mad at me because I went for Boston. They thought the sports curse was going to work and the Indians would be in the World Series.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I can't win either way here.
When it comes to Boston, that's an odd thing with the curse. All kinds of curses. They know how to break curses.
Well, Mike, his last name is last name is Hunt. Had to put a little time in between the first name and the last name.
Of course.
From Cleveland writes, guess who lost? F your curse, Opie. Go Sox, go. I got $100 and I'm going to get high. Ha, ha, ha. F Opie. Cleveland is pathetic. He thought I picked the Red Sox because I actually wanted the Indians to go to the World Series.
No.
I really want the Red Sox to go to the World Series.
Obviously.
And now between them and what? The Colorado Rockies? I want the Red Sox to win it all.
Yeah, you're not going to sincerely root on the Rockies. No. Who cares?
I truly picked the team I want to win.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, half the time they lose. Like the lovely Jets yesterday.
Well, oof. Oh, are they in the toilet?
It's so funny. Football season is over for all Jets fans already.
Yeah,
it's
done.
amazing. And for all Dolphin fans.
They're talking about changing Pennington. Wasn't he like the bright spot of the future a couple years ago?
He had a pretty bad shoulder injury, and people aren't really acknowledging that. You know, he didn't really come back from his shoulder injury. He wasn't really supposed to be that great after that shoulder injury, and he's getting a lot of crap in the New York papers.
I just wish Testaverde was available.
Yeah, at this point, I would love Testaverde throwing for the Jets. Shut up, stupid Testaverde.
Who is he playing for now? Didn't they someone grab him up?
I don't know. double-A football team.
He won a game, didn't he? He had a good game. He's good for a couple of games a year. When he doesn't get hurt.
Did he play yesterday? I don't even know.
I played last week, I know. I
don't think he threw yesterday, so who knows. By the way, I did really well in the football pool this week.
Oh, how'd you do?
I went 5 for 6 with one game to go, but of course my brother did my picks this week.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
With commentary on why he chose each team.
Yeah, with commentary. And I was the big winner this week. Wow, thanks to my brother. Because when I picked him, I was 2 for 7. My brother is 5 for 6 right now.
It's abominable.
Football Picks sponsored by Dish Network. It's time to get more TV from your TV. Sign up for Dish Network today. Speaking of which, the Pats were just unstoppable yesterday.
Yeah, I think they could go all the way.
Oh, my God, they're unstoppable.
Perhaps farther than that.
Brady threw for 6 touchdowns yesterday. 6.
Jesus.
If he keeps going at this pace, he'll have, I was just reading, 61 touchdowns for the year. The record is 49 by good old Eli Manning.
They might be the best team, this team, I have to say.
The best team in football.
No, they might be the best team I've ever watched play. I have to say that. Yeah. I mean, the Cowboys were amazing in the 70s and in the early 90s, and the Steelers had their great years, but they've been good for a while, man. Really good for a while.
Yeah, this will be looked back on as the whole Patriots dynasty.
Yeah.
And it's not the old days of football where you could keep your nucleus for a long time. It's really hard to keep your players on the same team. Football was one of the last sports to go the way of the
salary caps, and it gutted the dumb Dallas dynasty.
Yeah,
when Ken Norton Jr. had to leave, and a few of the other ones. That's when they first started getting capped.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid Cowboys. Watched them fall apart and wept.
Did the Cowboys win yesterday? I don't even know.
Yeah, they won. I think it was 24-14.
Jimmy's team until one of the star players blows him off for a picture, and then you'll hate the Cowboys just as much as you hate the Yankees,
my
right?
Feelings hurt. Yes, I'm actually. You know what?
Very professional.
I'm turning the corner on the Yankees right now and coming to the team's aid. I'm so tired of everybody trashing them for the way they let Torrey go. Enough. Torrey had to be let go.
Yeah.
You're
thinking it was like a calculated thing
I like
to get
the way
rid
the
of
team
him.
did it. The guy hasn't won in 7 years. They offer him $5 million plus $3 million in incentives, and it's an insult. Drop dead.
I was reading in the papers all weekend long about this insult thing, and I can't put my arms around it. The guy hasn't won in 8 years? How long? When did your dopey team win the World Series, Ant?
2000.
2000, 7 years.
But it's not like,
7 years with an all-star team, and they insulted Joe by offering him $5 million a year. I had to read this over and over in the paper this weekend. You know that there's a few managers in baseball that only make $500,000 a year.
Yeah, and they're the ones that never make the playoffs
because they have a crappy team.
If you lose or not,
it comes down to what players you got.
Well, this is true.
The manager, know what the manager does? Let me see. Dirt cheater. I think I want him to bat second instead of third. Who gives a crap? They hand in their lineup sheet, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's it for baseball. And then you sit there and chew stuff in the dugout.
Well, Hank Steinbrenner...
chew like sunflower seeds.
Sunflower seeds and spit.
And spit a little bit.
One of them
Walk out to the mound every once in a while just to get your cardio up, and that's it.
One of them made a good point. He's like, well, if you're going to take the credit when they win, you got to take some of the blame when they're losing. It's like, he's right.
Right.
$5 million plus $3 million in bonuses. Get to the series, dope. And he turned it down. I like Torrey, believe me, but just, all right, enough. Goodbye.
And I read that, I think Torrey said it himself. He's like, the offer proved they didn't really want me back, and it was their way of saving face, so they didn't officially fire me or something like that. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
The incentive portion of his contract was pretty impressive.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the original, the initial salary, being a salary cut, would be insulting, I guess he thought.
Really? Well, the highest paid manager, thank you, Travis, after Torrey is Lou Piniella at $3.5 million a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he was going to get 1.5 above that. Plus incentives that no other coach has.
It's not
manager. What are they called in baseball? Managers instead of coaches?
Or
What's
the
the
skipper.
difference?
Call him a skip.
By the way, it was
skipper.
It's kind of early. Thank you, Jared. It was Peyton Manning, of course, not Eli Manning, of course. I know that. I did know that.
How come they don't want to be incentive based? Why aren't they? With any athlete should be incentive based. They don't like it.
No, they don't. Well, then you got to perform.
Yeah, if you perform, you get a boatload of cash. What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that?
Stupid babies. Will A-Rod opt out? I hope he does. Please go and not win somewhere else. Please go and hit a lot of April and May home run somewhere else.
Well,
you non-playoff performing.
They're saying this is the
cheater.
This is the perfect scenario for him to just walk away now.
Yeah, let him go
because Tori's gone. Let's say hi to James in New Hampshire. James, what's up?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey.
Hey, I think I figured out the sports curse.
Yeah.
I just think you can't say anything on the actual game day, because when the Sox weren't on the air, when you weren't on the air for the Sox game, they won.
Oh, boy, you're trying to figure that thing out, huh? All right. Well,
figure it out. What, on the same day? Now there's rules being put to it to keep it going.
Look, I want the Red Sox to win the World Series. Simple as that. I'm not even going to try to make believe I care. I couldn't name you one Rockies player.
Yeah. Not one person.
It's one of those weird, and I like sports. I follow it to a point. I couldn't name you one Rockies player. I could care less about that team. They're in that just weird area of the United States that no one really knows about, the Rockies. What the hell goes on up there?
Boston fans will find any superstition to justify a win.
Yeah, all right.
Take it easy,
guys. All right. Jeremy in Illinois, I already corrected myself, and I'm not a dumb F, you ass.
Just because of that?
It's a bit early, so I said Eli instead of Peyton. I know it's Peyton Manning. Eli still hasn't really proven himself, although, yeah, Giants doing quite well this year so far. So
yeah, I'm amazed though at the Sox.
Why?
Just that they come back like that. They were done. It was over.
They scored.
Cleveland was pretty much done. In.
What did they score? Like 30 runs in the last 3 games or something?
Ridiculous.
What was the final last night? I went to bed after the second inning. It was already
11-2. Just
11-2. All right.
An embarrassment.
I think they scored, but yeah, from what I heard today in the way in, they scored like 3 in one inning and then 6 in the next. Like as it got late in the 7th and 8th inning, so it was probably 3-2. And then
what a self-destruct on the part of Cleveland.
Right.
Oh.
And punt.
That dope. Who was that guy again? I don't even remember his name anymore.
Oh, douche. The douche show.
Yeah, we're up against this show in Cleveland, I guess, because we didn't even really know who they were.
Yeah.
And we put out a challenge, and of course they didn't get back to us on their little challenge, so they're back into obscurity.
Well, now
they said that one of their guys was funnier than Jim Norton on the radio. So we're like, all right, send in tape of this guy being really funny on your radio show, and we'll give him massive exposure. It'll be massive exposure for your dude. It'll be massive exposure for your radio show. And what happened? We never got the tape. Never heard from him. Just a bunch of asses that just speak out of their you-know-whats. And
he's a chicken.
And don't back up what they say.
A chicken. Oh, boy. And E-Rock doesn't get to play. I heard he wanted to play Cleveland Rocks.
Huh?
Didn't you? Was that your idea? E-Rock?
What was this?
I had it if Cleveland won. So if Opie threw his support to Cleveland, he had it to play it.
So you're going to play Cleveland Rocks.
Is that their theme song?
No.
They just played at the stadium all the time, though.
But, like, it's a horrific idea.
What's the Red Sox theme song? Can we hear that? Because I'm sure it's good.
Do they have a... What's wrong with what?
What's wrong with having a song for your stadium?
It's atrocious.
Who let the dogs out?
Oh, that one's bad. I'm even sick of
coming. The Falcons are doing it.
Huh?
That one's good if the Falcons are doing it.
And don't even make fun of stadium songs. The Yankees lose 15-1 and they play New York after the final out. You know, New York should only be played at Yankee Stadium when the Yankees win at home.
Well,
when it's a blowout loss, it's the stupidest thing to hear start up.
Sinatra plays. They play the Sinatra version when they win. They play the Lisa Lampanelli version
when they lose.
When they lose. Yes.
What's that there? What's in the background, E-Rock? What was that? What was that? That? Queuing something up live on the show. That's nothing wrong with that, right? I love his answer. Oh, just queuing something up. Okay.
Oh.
You queue away there, pal. So how was everyone's weekend?
Action-packed.
Yeah, you went down to the Borgata, you were telling me.
Went down to Borgata. I was hanging out in the city on Friday night, and my phone was dead, so I had to go up into the room and charge it. So then I go down to the bar over at the hotel, and I'm just sitting there, and it hits me. I go, what the hell am I doing here? There's like... I know it's New York City, believe me. I could have gone to a couple of things. Could have gone and seen Than and hung out. But just the idea of hanging out in some New York bar, just was like, what am I going to do? So I just jumped in the car and drove to Atlantic City and went to the Borgata.
By yourself?
Yeah.
On Friday?
Yeah.
God, when do you sleep?
Friday night.
I was exhausted after that roast.
Well, I took a nap beforehand.
Right.
Because, I had the room. So we got done with the show, took a long nap. So I was like up as a pup and drove down there. And then I was playing blackjack. And you ever notice when someone's standing uncomfortably close to you?
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of people stand around the tables and watch the games and stuff, but they were a little too close. So I didn't want to even look at them. So I'm kind of just playing. And then I slowly look up, and it's Louis C.K.
He's sitting right next to you?
He had just got done with his show.
Right.
He was playing at the Borgata. I didn't know that. So he sits down, and me and him are talking and just laughing at the whole concept of gambling and just losing your money. And we were getting like some really bad beats, just sitting there getting hammered by the dealer and laughing. It's a lot more fun when you have somebody to commiserate with. But he was just, oh boy, here we go again. He's pulling more money out of his wallet and just putting it down. He gets like $100, gets $100 chip, puts it in, loses. And then he's got to wait for a new shoe to come around before he can get another one.
That is the worst feeling when you just keep going to your wallet for hundreds. Like, oh,
yeah.
that 100 went by in 2 minutes.
And
I got to get another one out.
Then we go over to the roulette table. Yeah. I don't play roulette, but apparently he does. He puts some money down and he wins. He wins like a stack of chips. And then he just looks over at me and goes, oh, this will dissolve into nothing in no time. And it did.
Did he? How'd you wind up doing?
I lost, but not as bad as I should have. I was up to about $30,000 on the blackjack table and the high stakes thing.
Wasn't that wasn't that what you lost at the last place? Like, that would have made up what you lost, right?
Probably, yeah. Wow. But I.
You were feeling the urge.
But I couldn't walk away. I couldn't walk away. I should have left.
Just walk away.
But I also played poker for a long time, which is good because you don't plow through as much money as you do playing blackjack.
I have a feeling you didn't even get a room down there.
No, I had a room.
Oh, you did get a room?
For 2 days.
No, I know. But I figured, knowing you probably wouldn't get a room, and you would just stay down at the tables until it was time to leave on Sunday.
Oh, no, that would be
a solid day and a half later.
I could not imagine not sleeping, because you do reach a point where you're just like, okay, get to bed. And then you go in, you go to bed, you go to sleep.
What time was that at, though? Like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning?
Probably around 6 in the morning.
Jeez.
And then go to the room, sleep until into the afternoon, and then start again. Start playing again. Hope for the best. There were a few fans at the table, which is always nice. And then some ass sitting across from me playing poker. And one guy starts talking about, I do a radio show. And then the rest of the table, a few of the guys knew the show. They were like, oh, wow, that's really cool. So this other guy kind of knows who we are just through the news stories.
Right.
And the Condoleezza Rice thing got brought up by one of the fans. And he's like, oh, what's that about? And the fan explains what happened. And he's like, see, that's what I'm against on the radio. And I was just like, could you shut up? I'm trying to play cards. Really like being belligerent to the guy.
Good.
I said, could you shut up? I'm trying to play cards. And you're the type of guy that gets me fired. So enough. And he's like, well, that's inappropriate and I believe against the rules. I go, you know the rules of radio? I go, what do you do? And he's some business douche.
Of course.
So he knows nothing, but he was a holy roller religious guy. So like, why don't you? I go, why aren't you giving this money to your church instead of gambling it away? Well, that's uncalled for. And that. So I'm like I'm trying to play a game, and I'm arguing with this schmuck across the table from me that what I do on the air is inappropriate. It's like, I got to justify it to this idiot? So the guy that brought it up is like, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't know this ass was just going to keep going off on you. I was like, screw him.
I love, there are times where you're with somebody and they want to explain who you are and what show.
It's like, could you not?
There are times I have shut people up in mid-sentence, like,
Yeah. Right.
Because like the person you're with, they're clueless. They're like, oh, they got this great show. Oh, Sex for Sam. They had this couple. They went into a church. I'm like, shut up.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it, the show. You should give them a listen.
Right. Because it's obvious the person they're explaining it to, there's no way they're a fan or will ever be a fan. It's like, chill. That's between you and me. Let's just shut up. Shut up.
And the guy was like, what did he say? He goes, you're not allowed to threaten people's lives on the radio. I go, first of all, it wasn't a threat. Second of all, shut up. I don't have to justify myself to this idiot who never heard the show. Like, he's just one of these guys. And I'm sure he's one of these guys who would sign one of those petitions that were mailed to him because he never heard of us and just sign it for what was written on there. And they said this and that. And to deal with it, it's like, just keep your mouth shut then. Just keep your mouth shut.
What was his name? John Cook? That's the new program director of WISP that doesn't like our radio show, everybody.
That would have been funny if it was. Just an ass. Enough. Like, I need that out of somebody when I'm trying to just have fun.
Did you walk and just go to another table?
No. I was sitting there, and I was going to rape him for his money.
Yeah, what happened? He won, you lost?
No, we never really got into a good head-to-head hand with each other, which kind of sucked. But he did wind up losing and leaving the table. Somebody else cleaned him out.
Yeah.
Which was good. Ha. I think I went, ha-ha. I was real mature. I went, ha-ha, singing it. Ha-ha.
All right, we're just getting warmed up today. You know what? What is today's sound clip for the $1,000?
Oh, wow.
It's been a long weekend.
The weekend.
It's this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, when you hear this.
Spooky, scary, most becoming men becoming wolves.
When you hear that between 7 and 7:30, if you're the 10th caller at 877-212-O&A, you will win $1,000. Bill Maher was getting tough on TV. We got to play the audio now.
Oh.
And apparently there's been some things going on besides wizardry and the Harry Potter.
I'm praying that you were going to talk about this one.
Besides wizardry.
That's right, the different sort of wizardry. The type of wizardry that leaves a father in tears and a boy with bleach breath.
What is she doing? We'll get into that next as well. We got lots to do today. Hey, good morning, and the weekend's over. Deal with it. It's Opie and Anthony. Wake up, bitches. It's Monday. Duh. Opie and Anthony with you. Jim Norton with you. Chance to win $1,000 sometime between 7 and 7:30.
Coming up.
We went to a roast on Friday after the show.
Oh, my God, that's right.
What a complete waste of time.
You didn't have fun?
Now I know why I don't do many of those things.
Yeah.
I mean, now I know why.
Yeah, it was...
Because you do one every once in a while and go, oh, yeah, this is why I don't do these.
Yeah.
They suck.
It was...
For us, there was nothing for us to do except, like, walk on the red carpet, talk to people knowing they're never going to use anything we say, and then sit there in front of 1,400 people and look stupid. That was our job Friday.
Our job was to eat in front of people.
And our job was to bring down the average age of the joint.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Wow.
Just fossils.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they roasted Pat Cooper, and I got to tell you, Jimmy was on the dais. Jimmy performed. Jimmy killed.
I had to go. It was in and out. It was very weird. A weird crowd, man. It was some stuff I did. I was happy with what I wrote. Like, even stuff that didn't work, I was very happy with. I wasn't like, I wish I would have done that different. But Colin had great moments, and then some of Colin's stuff died. But it's like, it's weird. Like, I know when I'm watching other guys, I'm not watching if the stuff is like what the crowd is doing. I don't even care what the crowd is doing. That's too big of an audience for a roast. 1,400 people.
1,400 people, and you look around, and you just realize none of these people listen to our radio show. None of these people know the younger comedians for the most part. And nothing against Jimmy or anybody else. They're just a much older crowd.
They know the Friars guys. Like, a lot of them know, like, the younger Friars comedians. It is a weird... Like Lisa Lampanelli hosted.
And she did great, man.
She killed.
Lisa's, I don't think she's ever been on our show.
No.
But she did a great job.
Yeah.
And,
It was great.
She was really happy we're there, and we told her she did a great job after the thing. She was amazing.
She was an animal. I like the fact that she went up and she did everything she wanted to do. She was completely brutal, which to me is what you should be at a roast. That's what a roast is. One comedian's taking apart another comedian. She was vicious, and it was funny.
Yeah, it was just brutal. I mean, it seems they really love that C word.
Yeah.
God bless
the Friars.
But she could take it. It's like that's
apparently.
Well, she could take it and she could dish it out, you know? So
yeah. Apparently she could take it from all the black jokes that are made, the black guy jokes.
We get it. You like black.
Yeah. We get it. You're angry at Dad. Well, yeah, she was tremendous. Jeff Ross was on. Jeff did very well. But he did a weird singing thing at the end, which he acknowledged was odd.
Geoffrey Ross.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Ross said something that had Ant and I laughing for the rest of the roast. And it was just, it was an improv line. It had nothing to do with his set. Remember when that old guy was trying to find a seat?
Oh, God.
You got to, like, picture this. It's a ballroom, 1,400 people, and there's one really old guy. He had to be close to 90, just wandering around.
Ancient.
Near the
his
front.
Suit that doesn't fit anymore because they don't make suits for skeletons.
Right, and it's all just round table after round table, so he's trying to figure out where he was sitting.
Just looking all around confused.
And Geoffrey Ross just started his set, and he just stops his set, looks at the guy, and is like, Are you lost, sir? Are you looking for your golf ball?
Okay. You're looking for your golf ball?
And you obviously had to be there because it was a perfect visual.
Oh,
He was just like, where am I?
And you've seen those old guys on the golf course
just
looking
wandering
like
around
that.
looking for their dumb golf ball.
Where's my golf ball? That was really good. And then he had a great set. He's great at those roasts.
Yeah.
He could just rip people apart. He knows everybody. And then he decided it would be a good idea to have an accordion player come out and accompany him to a musical number about the guest of honor,
Pat
Cooper,
whose real name is Pasquale. So I think, I could be wrong, he sang some song to the tune of That's Pasquale.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And no one got it because most people don't know that Pat Cooper's real name is Pasquale.
The old people know, but that's about it. And
let's just put it this way, it bombed.
Yeah.
Which was unfortunate because Geoffrey Ross had a great set up to that point.
He even said that.
Really good set.
He goes, because I had the little video camera in there, so I was taping a couple of people, doing some stuff. And he goes, did you get what I did? I go, yeah, I caught some of that. He goes, good. He goes, I want to see that, right up to the part where I start singing.
And who was the other female comic that absolutely got not one laugh?
Michelle something.
And
I think she
did a
tough time.
She did a 12 to 15 minute set. She didn't get one laugh from 1,400 people. It was so uncomfortable. And Lisa Lampanelli got up there, and what did she say?
She said, wow, that really sucked the funny out of me.
Right. And then she goes, who says that female comics aren't funny?
Lisa,
I mean, this woman just destroyed it again for female comics.
It was such a complete bombing. She got up there, and she got a polite titter at first, and then as every minute went on, and her jokes got worse and worse and more unfunny, people just sat there kind of mumbling and...
Where was she from?
All uncomfortable.
I'll tell you what happened. I don't know exactly. She was...
I think she might have been on Last Comic Standing or something like that.
Something like that. She was... she's been around. I think that she was uncomfortable, and it would show she wasn't completely prepared as far as coming up and hammering. And Cooper said something when he was on the other side of the show. He goes, it's not so much just what you say. You have to look and realize what you can't say, which at a roast, which means what people have stepped on so much.
Right.
So you're sitting there with your paper. I had 8 pages of stuff because, literally, scratch off.
Okay, can't do that, can't do that. Right.
Like, hey, she likes black guys. You can repeat that theme.
Yeah.
But certain punchlines cannot be repeated.
I saw all you guys just reworking your material right up to the moment they were calling you. That was really interesting to see.
The thing that worked the best for me was stuff that I actually wrote that morning when I got home in between the time I got picked up. I just rewrote a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And that is the stuff that worked the best. It's really weird.
Because you're right, because I noticed somebody said something and it was the exact punchline.
Yeah, you have to watch that.
It was so noticeable. You're just like, oh, okay, I heard that a few minutes ago.
So, and a couple other highlights. I mean, it was cute that they took a few shots at us, but is anyone, trying to get Artie some help?
Seriously. Oh, my God.
It's not even funny anymore. Artie Lange looks horrendous.
Yeah.
And he tried to take a few shots at Ant and I while he was roasting Pat Cooper, and the whole room didn't get it. They were like, yeah, whatever, dude. Why don't you you acknowledge Pat Cooper and roast him, not Opie and Anthony? And I'm sitting there like, this doesn't bother me. The guy looks like he's going to die any day, and I'm wondering if his good friends and family are actually helping this guy, or are they going to let him go the way of Chris Farley at this point?
Yeah, he was really bloated and just sweating.
I was amazed how fat he was.
Yeah.
He did
and not in a good way. There are guys that carry their weight. They're fat. They're supposed to be fat guys. He's not supposed to be a fat guy like that. I couldn't believe how big his jaw and his neck was all connected.
It's like a big blubbery thing under his chin that goes down and covers his neck.
I whispered to Anthony, I'm like, he looks like a South Park character at this point.
He looked like Cartman.
He looks like Cartman. As remember when Cartman was fat guy?
Oh.
They did that whole fat thing. That's nothing.
He's fatter than that picture.
He looks way worse than that.
Yeah.
So it was cute, Artie, that you took a few shots at us, but is anyone getting you help?
He's got that big bullfrog in heat thing going on under his neck. It's blown up.
He had a funny line about Belzer. He goes, if I want some Coke, I'll have Belzer sneeze in my mouth.
Yeah.
Dude, what's going on with
sniffing
Belzer?
I thought Belzer was high. He was like, every punchline. I think it was a timing thing for Belzer, because he would do a line and then go... I don't think he was Coke. I think that was sometimes the guys...
Was he nervous or something up there?
Not just if something...
He was snorting in air after every line.
It didn't sound like a dry snort, though. It was this snotty kind of sound that went on, yeah.
It sounded like a timing thing, if something... Because Belzer was kind of... Some stuff worked and other stuff was not working well. And it seems like when something's not working, it's like a timing thing. Like you're doing something just to pace out where the laugh should be.
Yeah, you can almost do like a smirk or a... yeah. But it was after every joke. It was so noticeable.
And then someone observed him leaving the roast halfway through or three-quarters through and then, stumbling down the stairs. What was that about? There seemed to be something going on with him.
I don't know what's going on with the bells.
And then we had to follow, the star of Sergeant Bilko into the room. Through the kitchen. And
Mickey Freeman.
Yeah, what? Mickey Freeman. I tried to figure out how old the guy is. Maybe someone out there could help me because I couldn't find his age on the internet. But Ant and I had to follow him into the big banquet through the kitchen and stuff. We were zigging and zagging like Spinal Tap to try to get to the stage.
Yeah.
And we were behind Mickey Freeman. There was a whole line of everybody that was going up on the dais. And I looked at Ant. I'm like, I think this guy might die on the way.
Yeah, because everyone's doing a pretty good clip to get to the stage pretty quickly through this long kitchen, and he couldn't keep up. I was just looking at his shaking blue hand sticking out of his ill-fitting suit.
Well, we all had to sit in the green room, in order or whatever. Yeah. And his row left just as he got there, and he decided to sit down in the empty row. And then one of the guys, the organizers, like, Mickey, you have
to go. Mickey, and follow them.
And then he's just pointing at his seat and his name, like, no, I got to be right here. But it's obvious everyone's leaving at this
point. What are you doing?
And then he just starts shuffling toward the dais. There was literally a 30-second gap between the guy that was in front of Mickey Freeman.
Yeah.
Then it was Mickey Freeman, and then it was us and everyone else right behind him.
And we couldn't even get around him.
No.
Because it was too thin and he was weaving. Poor old codger.
It made me want to join the Friars Club, though. I'm going to join the Friars Club. Because you got to respect the fact that that's one of the last places where political correctness is completely ignored.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys, for real, ignore it. And they are exactly, they kind of embrace comedy being what it is, which is at times very brutal.
I did notice one very, very hypocritical thing.
Hold on. What?
Al Roker.
Oh, we did talk about this on the way home.
Al Roker was there. Apparently he's a friar.
Sure.
Friar Tuck. He's a friar. And there was, like Jimmy said, no political correctness going on there. So the N-words being just thrown around in joking fashion, whenever appropriate. with Lisa Lampanelli and her love of black gentlemen. Gilbert Gottfried telling some really funny, horribly racist jokes.
Is it safe to say the N-word was said 20 times during the roast?
By Pat Cooper alone.
Yeah.
When he got up and just went off on a Michael Richards tear.
Oh, right.
He's the only one that made me uncomfortable, actually.
Yeah, by saying it was like, oh, Jesus.
But I think there were about 4 or 5 comedians that used the N-word in their act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily.
Absolutely.
Easily. And the whole room was, was fine with it. Michael Spinks was on the dais. He was completely fine with it.
They were laughing.
And Al Roker was completely fine with it.
Sure.
That's what Anthony's getting at.
Jolly Al Roker was just laughing at the jokes. And, excuse me, he was at the forefront of Get Imus Off the Air for saying nappy-headed hoe. And he was there. He went to the bosses at MSNBC and NBC and said that he wants him removed because there's no place for that kind of language, blah, 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 blah. Well, obviously people know Imus does like a comedy show. Yeah, there's politicians on it and stuff. For the most part, when they're just bantering amongst themselves, it's comedy. That's what he was doing. I see no difference between that kind of joke, especially something so innocent as what Imus said, compared to what Al Roker sat through and listened to in the roast.
Well, you know what his argument would be.
What?
Well, I mean, just believe me, I'm on your side. But it'll be, that's over the airways where anybody can hear it. And he was attacking innocent people who didn't ask to be attacked. If you're at the Friars, you volunteered to be there, and it's a closed room for adults. That would be his argument.
Yeah, and his argument doesn't hold any water because it's that type of language has no place anywhere. Ask Al Roker if that kind of language has a place anywhere in public. Ask him on the Today Show and watch him say, oh, no. There's no.
Yeah, there's not one incident.
There's no instance where that could be funny, where the use of that word can actually make people laugh and be funny. He would say no in a second. So, hypocritical Al Roker was there, who's getting fat, by the way. What happened? What happened? You pop a staple, fat boy?
He wanted no part of taking a picture with me either.
Oh, no, huh? Did you try?
I got one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and Pat Cooper jumped in, so it was me, Al, and Pat Cooper.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, there were people there. It was like, oh, God. Oof. I don't know how well over my picture of me and Artie Lange is going to go over.
Did you guys take a picture?
Yeah. I was talking to, what was I talking to? I don't even remember, but then Artie came over. I walked over to whoever I was talking to. I don't remember who it was. And a couple of photographers came over. Let me get a picture. Like, okay, so we're kind of standing kind of next to, but not quite, not like the arm around each other picture. I was like, all right, kind of smile. And I go, that'll probably make a website.
Is this after or before?
Before. I go, yeah, that'll probably make a website. And he said something like, yeah, it'll probably get me fired.
Probably will. Or doesn't give a crap about
I
it.
thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Why
Whatever.
don't you help the guy that's helping your show? It's obvious he's going to die soon, Howard.
He'll just get another guy.
Why don't you try to take care of somebody else besides yourself for once, you loser?
He'll just get another guy. It's a Howard, the comic sidekick.
Beefcake!
Is like Darren Stevens. Doesn't matter who it is. You just throw a new one in.
I actually felt bad that I made fun of, and I shouldn't, it's a comedian's roast, that I made fun of Robert Klein, because I love Robert Klein, and he didn't care, but I just...
Oh, he was getting hammered, though, too.
I felt guilty, like, why would I make fun of a guy who I idolized growing up? But
Robert
what's
Klein,
a roast?
Robert Klein ate it.
No, he did okay. He got some really...
ate it, Jimmy.
He had some very funny moments when he was talking about the guy, he had the wrong ethnicity. I thought it was very funny.
Oh, yeah.
But Klein is not a great roaster. He was a great comedian, but he's not a great roaster.
I never liked Robert Klein. I gotta tell you. I like a lot of the older guys. Right?
Way back.
I never got into Robert Klein.
He did I thought one of the best specials ever was Robert Klein at Yale.
Oh, yeah, that was years ago.
Yeah. I taped it off the TV when I was a little kid, and I used to listen to it. He was talking about he did very funny commercials jokes, and one was about I forget which one. It was about a tire company that was really good, and it was always made me laugh how they show the really bad tire company, and then the good one, the guy's dressed in a white coat, and he welcomes the customer. Please come in and enjoy the donuts and the prostitutes. It was very funny. Robert Klein made me laugh very hard growing up, and I really did I just, by the way, did a fat Yenta version of telling somebody else's joke. And then the man came in and he goes, "Hello,
hello, darling."
There's
Lisa Lampanelli ripped him apart pretty good.
Did she?
When he was walking away, she said something about him being completely irrelevant. It was really, really brutal.
Lisa was brutal.
Yeah.
It was fun, man. That's exactly what a rose should be.
She really was great.
Yeah, she was great. She was great.
And I sat next to Leroy Neiman, the famed artist who paints in watercolors. That was pointed out many, many times up there. And the whole time, I don't think he really knew where he was. He's like 80 because I looked up his age, too. I was just looking up people's ages on the dais.
How old they are.
I'm like, man, how old are these people?
Yeah. He's really old.
And
he was sketching people.
He was sketching the entire time, and I thought that was really interesting. Here's a guy, he's so into, his art, which is drawing and painting and stuff, that he can't stop himself. He just had a bunch of scrap papers in his suit jacket, all sorts of different pens, and he was just sketching every person that went up to the to do their act.
Yeah,
he was sketching you, Jimmy.
I would love to have
that. I wanted to try to get that for you, but I don't know. I thought he would bite my arm off.
He was sitting 2 people away from me. I've seen him quite a few times. I guess I know the stuff he does. Very famous sports painter. That's a fun place, the Friars, man. I really want to join it now after going.
Yeah,
yeah, man. Those guys are old school. They don't crap around with
literally
polite.
Old school, one room schoolhouse school. Those guys are just ancient.
To allow the N-word to fly around like that, and hey, that's what happens here, like it or don't.
Whatever you use in your personal life, it seems they're old enough where
there you
probably
go.
Throw that around.
Pat Cooper had a good time, though. He was very gracious, and it was nice to see Pat getting a tribute.
Pat, we were talking about Pat Cooper and how sincere he gets with some stuff that's just ridiculous.
About nonsense, and he'll scream about nothing, and then all of a sudden he'll get really emotional. My father, mouth to God, the man,
mouth to God,
mouth to God. The man was a saint. He would use the bathroom. He wouldn't leave until everything had dissipated. God bless him.
Wouldn't leave a cent in the air. Not a cent.
Respected people, mouth to God. And then 5 minutes later, I left when I was 14 because my father punched me in the jaw. I had to call the cops on my father. What are you talking about?
My mother would hit me with wooden spoons. Mouth to God, the woman was a saint. She could make a sauce.
What I wanted to do at the roast, I didn't have time, was actually take audio of him when he was on the show last week on XM and actually just read verbatim certain things he said, because he is completely out of his mind. Like the things he gets mad at. It's like, he's like, they want me to go to California. What, you're up for 12 minutes? F you. F California. It's like, why are you mad at California?
He's saying F the state of California.
That's some anger.
Yeah, it's like, and somebody invited you there, so F them and then F the state? What's the matter with you?
He's insane.
Let's say hi to Tony in Pennsylvania. Tony, what's up?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey, man.
Hey, just a quick question. You said Artie was taking a couple shots at you guys. Was he doing it in good nature, or was he being a dick?
He was taking the shots at us. I mean, it's a roast, so it's a roast. It's hard to say, but he was doing a lot of inside stuff because he knew we were up there, basically saying that we don't have the same ratings as David Lee Roth, which is a flat-out lie. Whatever.
As a comic, I can only say, to me, it wasn't. If it was going to be brutal, it would have been brutal. And to me, it wasn't like, it was just shots, but nothing horrible.
I didn't walk away going, oh, well, that mother F.
No, I was more concerned about as far as a human being goes to another human being. I'm like, wow, is anyone getting this guy help? I teased Artie. I'm not even kidding. How, he's really helped Howard's show, and I'm wondering, Howard, are you going to wake the F up and take care of someone else besides yourself and your stupid ego and get this guy some help before he drops dead like Chris Farley?
That's a guy in need of an intervention. Yeah, absolutely.
So it was kind of hard to sit there and take what he was saying seriously, because I'm thinking, wow, this guy is in a really bad place. Because I haven't seen. Well, we ran into him. I don't even know, like over a year ago on the street, and he was very nice to me face to face. That's why I laugh at this crap, because then he has to go on Howard's show and kiss his ass. And since that time, and the Pat Cooper roast, it's unbelievable. It's the same effing guy.
Yeah.
It's really unbelievable.
Amazing.
Another person that's just brave on Howard's show, but when it comes to, in person, is the biggest puss out there is Boy Gary.
Oh, yeah.
I was hanging with Colin Quinn, and it was like a circle of us just kind of talking and laughing. and I feel someone coming into the circle, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's Boy Gary to say hi to Colin Quinn, but he doesn't know I'm there. And I turn to see Boy Gary. He recognizes that it's me, went holy ass, got really uncomfortable, and no joke, and I swear to God, I'll probably, make believe he punched me in the face on Howard's show, knowing how they lie over there. He ran like a little girl to the other side of the room. Like a little bitch.
Wouldn't even come over?
No, he came over.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't even,
as soon as he realized it was me, because I had my back turned to him, and I was just happening to turn around because I was, checking out the room, whatever. He saw me. He hightailed it to the other side of the room as fast as he could and mumbled something on his breath like, oh my God. Like in a major panic.
He was shocked.
In a major panic. All right, we got to take a break.
Jesus,
Uncle Junior was there.
That's a picture from the roast.
There you go.
Of Artie and Uncle Junior. And Artie, look at under his neck. That is not even human anymore.
Dude, all radio crap aside, I'm being dead serious. I mean, who's getting this guy help? Who's getting this guy help at this point?
Wow.
Is his family stepping in? Are they saying something? Or is friends saying something? Is it not? Is it anyone's place to say something? Like, how does that work? Really, I don't know.
Oh man, it's when you see anybody like a friend or whatever, it's difficult because like there's a line between like, all right, I want to help somebody because I care about somebody, and it's like then you're like, I don't like to be in people's business. That's a tough one, man.
That's why I'm asking. Like, how does that work? You got to just leave it up to the family?
Well, even the family. I mean, there's programs for people to go to who live with alcoholics just because you can't like make people who are partying too much stop. They say, like, you shouldn't be, like, on them every 10 seconds, like, don't do that, don't do that. You should almost be like, yeah, go ahead. Let them do it unencumbered, because the faster any individual hits bottom, the faster they tend to want to do something.
It's like he's storing food in his neck. That's just what it looks like. Like a pelican.
It's bizarre. It's amazing, the difference. I mean, I haven't seen him in over a year. Easily. It's like, wow.
Oh, it must be hard to shave. Must take longer to shave. There's a lot more real estate to shave on a big fat neck like that.
All right, we got to take a break. We got $1,000 to give away pretty much between now and 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right after the break, the contest will officially be on. Okay, when you hear that sound we've been playing, well, we played once this morning even to help you guys out. If you're the 10th caller, you're going to win $1,000. Stay there. It's Opie and Anthony. You're checking out the Opie and Anthony show.
Colin got quoted in the paper, the post for the roast. He had a very funny line about how old everybody was. He said it's not a who's who, it's a who's left.
Yeah.
And he goes, the last woman most of these people were inside of was Beth Israel.
Which is a hospital, by the way, just to help everybody.
Oh, yeah.
No, because I told that same line to somebody over the weekend. I'm like, I don't get it. Who's Beth Israel? I'm like,
oh, God.
Oh, boy. It's a hospital. That's why that's really funny.
I like the other one, too. Joey Bishop was supposed to be here, but he took the easy way out.
Yeah.
Colin his head was down. I was looking at the monitor.
Yeah.
The stupid top of his head. It was like a Google Earth shot of his head. That idiot, his face in the paper. But he was he made fun of Rita Crosby's book. He's like, it's not exactly all the president's men, honey.
Hey, she's much better looking in person, by the way. Got to give her props.
Yeah.
I saw Rita Crosby backstage. She's not a bad looking woman when you see her face to face. On TV. I don't know what the TV's doing to her. She's not on MSNBC anymore, but
yeah, she did look better live than on TV. That's for sure.
And it was just very refreshing to be there. I mean, that's what comedy is supposed to be, what we saw. Yep. Simple as that. Just pure, no political correctness, no do-gooders, no lawyers, none of that crap.
Absolutely. A lot of C words.
Not one of those guys worried about offending anyone. Not a one. And I know there's a difference between that and radio to a certain extent.
Yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, the broadcast thing is one thing. It's all right. It's going over the air. But there is an argument that some of this material isn't appropriate anytime or anywhere. And that's what a lot of these people's arguments are. And, if there's one place it belongs, it's in a room like that with a bunch of people that understand what they're getting into. And nobody should be able to come in there and, start saying, you can't say this or that.
The only thing I don't like about the Friars Club is this is why I haven't joined. Is when you go there, you got to wear they're like old school. You got to wear a suit jacket when you eat. I don't want to wear a suit jacket.
That is respect.
I don't like suit jackets.
The suit jacket. My father would wear a suit.
Don't you hate that? My father would wear a suit in a tub. Bloody.
In the tub.
Should have worn an anchor in the lake. Dope.
My father.
My father.
Nothing but great memories, but then you realize the memories ended at 14.
Yeah.
The great ones anyway.
Punching you.
Right.
Punching you in the head.
I could have him on every day. That guy is really entertaining.
Oh.
He's a contradiction, that Pat Cooper.
He's a little much to deal with over the long haul. Like when we walked over from here over to satellite, over to XM, right when I got to the studio, he was already there, sitting in the chair in the studio, and I kind of like getting in there and setting stuff up, kind of taking a little breather before the show, and it was just Pat would talk to you and just blah, 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 and there was no time to do anything, so I'm just sitting there like, Pat's yelling. I have to acknowledge his yelling. Give me no downtime.
Mm-hmm. All right. We got the Dumbledore thing is...
Oh, yeah.
Let me get the story out of the way.
If you thought you knew everything about the characters in the Harry Potter books and movies, you would be wrong. One of them has just been outed. The author of the hugely successful tales about wizards told a group of 1,600 school kids at Carnegie Hall that Dumbledore, the headmaster at Hogwarts, is gay. J.K. Rowling made the revelation when a young fan asked her if Dumbledore finds true love. She said Dumbledore was once smitten with a rival he defeated in battle between good and bad wizards. And when Rowling recently saw the script of the 6th Potter movie, which made a reference to a female that Dumbledore was once interested in, she passed a note to the director to make a correction.
J.K. never ceases to surprise and amaze.
No.
I got a problem with this whole thing.
Yeah.
If you read the Harry Potter books, which I don't, I like the movies, but I haven't read one of those books. But a few Harry Potter readers checking in today.
Readers.
And they're saying, why didn't she mention it in the actual book?
Yeah.
It's not mentioned in the actual book.
If he did mention it in the book. Because when he was practicing his wizardry, he became the headmaster.
Oh.
That was clear enough.
That is clear, and it had nothing to do with school.
He had a crush on Gellert Grindelwald. They were practicing wizardry, smacking each other's mouths with swords. He was a lonely fruit, like most people who enjoy those books. But I'm just jealous because she outsold me, and I didn't think she would.
I think anything that happens to a character that isn't in a movie or a book is nothing. Even in a movie and a book, it's nothing because they're just characters.
Right.
But when people make stuff up that hasn't been in the book about a character, the guy doesn't really exist. What does it matter?
It was very disappointing when Steven Spielberg came out and said that Jaws was gay. That's why his mouth was always open. I couldn't believe it. He wasn't even practicing wizardry.
They get so into these characters that they go beyond the books and movies and what they're doing, now in real life? What?
She's pretty smart. I guess she felt like she needed to sell a few more books. So.
Does she think that'll sell books or not sell books?
It'll probably sell a few books. Probably people now will reread the books, that's for sure, and go, look at this.
I just see some people burning the books.
Yeah.
Some people maybe in the Midwest or some Bible thumpers down south now jumping on board and going, well, this book has to go. Of course, they were doing that anyway because of the
wizardry, which seems to have people who read the Bible very upset.
Yes, they think it's some kind of satanic thing. But then you throw a few homos in.
Yeah.
Oof. Now you got some problem. I don't know what they think is worse, the devil or the homosexual.
Well, they see they're one and the same. They just think a gay guy is the devil is basically just walking in a small dog in Chelsea with horns on his head. That's what they think. It's amazing. The Bible, they don't like anything with wizardry, and yet on page whatever, and then he moved the big rock after being dead for 3 days. Well, that's consistent. We don't like that supernatural nonsense. He hopped off the cross, he ran to Wendy's, and then he pushed the rock away and became heavenly. Did he? I'm sure he did.
Are you saying Jesus was practicing?
No, not at all. The Pope's in a fire showing up, and the Virgin Mary just show up on a roll of toilet paper in Des Moines. Yes, we're going to find Mother Teresa's third miracle so she can be a saint. But, enough of this silliness about wizardry and things of that ilk. We'd hate to poison the children's mind with that type of nonsense. That's right. On the third day, he rose again in fulfillment of the scriptures. I'm sure he did.
Let's not forget when Jesus walked across the water.
Walking on water.
And Moses was 800 years old. He took one of every animal, skedaddled across the ocean.
On a little boat.
All their animal dumps didn't weigh the stupid boat down. He had enough hay to keep everybody alive. God said build an ark, so he did. I mean, that's the way it is, folks. Accept it.
There was no wizardry involved with that, right?
No wizardry whatsoever.
Water to wine.
Just a lot of wood.
Yeah. Hey, we're hungry. Fish for everyone. Really? But these were pebbles. They're fish now. Enjoy the fishes, ladies and germs. This water is terrible. Well, then have something that'll make you beat your wife. Wine. That's good.
Yeah, they certainly believe in a lot of wizardry.
Yeah, they certainly do. I'm going to kill my son. Whoa, big hand coming down. Hey, Abraham, I was joking. Hey, easy. Easy, Abraham. Don't kill him. I was kidding. I was kidding.
But there's a problem with the Harry Potter book.
Oh, it's wizardry. Who would want that supernatural thing in the minds of these young children? Do you love your kid? You love me as God? I do. Then slay your son, Abraham. I'd prefer not to. Do it if you love me. All right.
I'm going to make sores all over you anyway.
Lot's wife looked when she shouldn't have, and the old gal became a bunch of salt. That's what happens when you look back, lady. You're now a pillar of salt. Now all the deer are going to lick you.
But there's no wizardry involved.
No, not at all. It's perfectly logical. Don't ever question that stuff.
How does that happen?
Just nonsense.
Damn you! I layeth my staff upon the Nile and turn it to blood. It's wizardry.
When characters collide on the Opie and Anthony show.
Damn you. Look, my staff is cast down at your feet and it turns into a serpent. Damn you. It's magic, but good magic. Magic of the Lord.
Fast forward a few.
Lord God.
Yeah.
Carve out these 10 commandments with some kind of lightning thing. And how did I know to get them? The burning bush told me. It's a bush that burns and talks. That's all cool. But no Dumbledore homos.
It's a good thing God didn't zap that stuff onto like a piece of papyrus or something that could have been carried. Take 2 giant headstones and make them fall down the mountain like that. Almighty.
Fast forward a couple thousand years, and Harry Potter will be the new Jesus, and we'll be fighting wars all over the freaking world over Harry Potter.
Over Harry Potter and his homo friends.
And it's wizardry.
People have been misbehaving. What should I do? I know. Flood the whole place out, except for one boat full of birds and dinosaurs and that ilk. One boat full of them. Clean everything out. 40 days, whole thing's gone. 40 days.
Make sure the rats survive.
Make sure the rats survive and the roaches.
Yeah. Right. And a giraffe.
Yes.
Everything.
Well,
I think the
I didn't know it was everything. I'm thinking there were more animals, but he couldn't get them all on the ark, and this is what we were left with. The ones he was able to get on the ark.
What about fossils? Like dinosaurs and stuff.
Well, here's the argument they have about that, and it's a doozy.
Oh, yeah?
And this is how they explain the dinosaurs and all that stuff. It's less than 6,000 years old. You see, our carbon dating is the problem, not the way they're looking at things. It's the carbon dating, which is not dating them properly. Do you see?
Wouldn't there be more... 6,000 years, relatively speaking, not that old.
Yeah, of course.
Wouldn't we have more stuff of the dinosaurs?
Yeah. We'd have 50 of them running through Manhattan right now on 57th Street. They'd be blocking traffic. They'd be riding them to work. God Almighty, we found one woolly mammoth frozen.
Yeah.
And pretty intact. That's what we found.
And mammoths were pretty much at the end of any prehistoric age.
Big, stupid, hairy elephant. How embarrassing. Can't even be a cute elephant like the one at the circus. You got to stink like wet elephant hair. Can you imagine riding an elephant with hair on it? How annoying that would be.
All matted. And you know what happens back there. Just all caked up.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Probably one
dingleberries as big as softballs.
Yeah, just giant. They thought they were natives, but they were actually just dingleberries hanging off.
How silly would an elephant look doing that dog dragging its butt across the carpet thing?
Scooting
with his big feet.
Stupid hairy elephant is trying to style his hair and comb it back because it's hot. Hairy idiot.
Hey, let's say hi to Pauline in Connecticut. She hung up. All right, well, let's say hi to Andrea in Massachusetts. Andrea, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
Hi.
Good. What's going on, Andrea?
Hey, I'm just trying to wake up a little bit here and listening for the sounder, which I thought I heard.
Oh, you heard the sounder? What was the sounder today?
It was a Halloweenish type voice.
Ah.
And we played that how long ago?
Like a few minutes ago.
Really? And
I don't know. I've been put on hold for like a minute or two.
All right, so you're thinking within the last few minutes, of course, and you're listening to the Opie and Anthony Show on BCN, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And big fan of the Opie and Anthony Show, are you?
I am. I'm from Massachusetts.
I understand that. What do you like about the Opie and Anthony Show?
In 5.
Kind of the rudeness of you guys.
In what way? Like, what was something you heard recently that you really enjoyed from the fine show?
What did I just hear recently about, what's her name that did the Harry Potter books?
Yeah, that was really recent.
Wow.
I don't mean 30 seconds ago now. Like when my mouth is still wet with spittle from saying it.
Could you tell us what we're going to do in 15 minutes?
Yeah, it makes us feel really good to talk to the faithful listeners and find out what they like about the show. Something that's not 5 minutes old.
You guys are pretty down on us women.
No, we're not.
No.
Yeah, we are.
All right, give us an example of us being down on women. Down on women, excuse me. Yeah.
I don't know. You always kind of talk down on us.
Well, give us one example.
Do we?
Give us one example of us talking down on women.
You got me going early because I stayed up for the Red Sox, and I did end up falling asleep.
All right, well, go Sox, go. I want them to win the World Series. Everybody knows that. But just one thing, Andrea. One thing that you took notice about this radio show.
Thing.
One lousy thing.
The way we are, sometimes you come up with some things that we say, and,
Well, no, I understand what you're saying, but listen, you're not concentrating. Could you take off your yellow gloves and put down the toilet scrubbing device you're using?
Yeah, we just
want scrubbing the bowl and answer the question.
Yeah, just one example, one thing that you heard on the Opie and Anthony Show that either pissed you off or
told me right now.
No. We're not talking about stuff that we just said.
Yeah.
You've been telling us that you're a fan of the Opie and Anthony Show. You're listening on BCN. You love the Red Sox. We get all that. Like, one thing either that we did that pissed you off or made you laugh or made you think. Just one lousy thing, because you keep telling me you're a big fan of the show.
Take the ice pack off your eye and tell us.
Absolutely.
I will say I'm a big fan. I do listen to you now and again.
All right. How about just one thing we've done on this fine radio show? One lousy thing.
Let me see. Really going to make me think, huh?
Hey, sweetheart, look, you're not paying attention. Put the pie on the windowsill to cool off and focus.
Yeah, just focus, please.
Put that pie on the windowsill.
You have plenty of time. You have plenty of time before you have to iron your dress before your man comes home and give him his martini.
That's right.
One lousy thing you've heard from the Opie and Anthony Show. That's all we ask. We wake up real early every day to do this crap. The least you can do is name one effing thing we've done on the show. One!
Okay. You did say that we have big mouth.
I'm starting to get the feeling that you might not be a fan of the Opie and Anthony Show.
Yeah, see, that's the whole thing.
Did you actually remember saying that we're big mouth people?
Miss, you're not
big mouth people.
Big mouth people.
We don't acknowledge you as people.
You got a big mouth. Did we ever say you got a big mouth, people? I don't think so. You people.
You know those broads, they're big mouth people.
We call you walking baby farms.
Andrea, you're a prize pig.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Admit it.
You're really a prize pig.
You can't name one thing we've even discussed and what was said or a bit or something that we've done on this radio show.
You're just a prize pig listening to win $1,000. You don't care about the Opie and Anthony show. What?
I just don't remember.
You don't remember.
And they're women. Their brains are smaller. They're like Doberman pinchers. Their brains are too tight in their little heads. All they can think of is one thing at a time. It's either toilet or cool pie. There's never a logical thought. We understand. You're like goldfish. You remember a little.
After the break, we're going to discuss whose brain is bigger, a broad's or a pigeon's.
Yeah, you really do you are a pigeon-brained boob. No disrespect.
Concert pig, get off our phones.
Concert again.
See you guys.
Damn it.
Why? Why the concert thing? There goes the prize pig.
Yep.
The contest pig.
Well,
the prize pig.
She still has a chance, I guess.
Not anymore, she doesn't.
Spooky, scary. Wolves becoming men. Men becoming wolves.
Ah, yes, there you go. There's the sound to make it very obvious for everybody else. 877-212-O&A. 10th caller gets the $1,000 today. It's Opie and Anthony. Hey, congratulations to Kenny. He's got $1,000 today.
Yes, I won.
Not that Kenny.
Oh.
We're giving away $1,000 a day here on the Opie and Anthony show for the next, probably, 3 more weeks, I'm thinking? 3.5 more weeks? Every single day between 7 and 7:30. We play a sound, and that's the sound you got to be listening for. You want tomorrow's sound?
Yeah, you got it?
I'm thinking in honor of the prize pigs, even though I say concert pigs every single time. I don't know why.
Oh, wait a minute. Technically, it's not past 7:30 yet.
Oh, really?
So if you play it now,
good
is
God.
everyone going to call and think it's shut up?
You just saved me $1,000. Thank you. I'm going to wait just to make sure.
Just in case. I don't know what the rules are. I hate the rules.
Well, you're going to learn. Well, technically, he played it at 7:29 and 30 seconds, and someone called right away, so we have to give him the $1,000.
The lawyers are on the phone.
Lawyers. What, Jimmy?
So no, you already gave the prize away.
Yeah.
And you're introducing it as for tomorrow.
Let's debate until 7:30 just to make sure.
There it is. I just saw the second hand is now 5 seconds after 7:30.
Yeah, is it? This says 7:25. This says 7:28. What does this one say?
Synchronize your watches.
This says 7:30. That says so. 2 out of the 5 that I see is 7:30.
The iPhone knows. Here it is. It's call failed o'clock.
Let's go to Jennifer in Arizona. Sorry, Anthony. Jennifer, what's up?
Hey, I was just calling about these contest pigs. It just pisses me off that they even get to talk on the radio. It's absolutely ridiculous.
You're right, but
no, I hope people understand how much fun that is now that we introduced the prize pig to this fine audience of ours, and then you could enjoy the fact that these prize pigs have no clue about our show. And then we we ask them to just name one lousy thing we've done, and they're like, it's early, and I watched the Sox last night, and you talk down to women. That's what you do. All right, well, give us an example of us talking down to women. Wow. Oh, now you're putting me on the spot. It's early, you know.
It's always too early for them to think.
That's why I enjoy it. I hope the listeners enjoy it at this point, where it's so obvious they have no clue about us, and they're just calling for this contest.
Just calling for the cash, which is kind of good because I guess that's what this was for, to get people to actually listen. But you could tell she will never
that's what I'm getting
become a listener of the show.
There are like people that will listen because of the contest and then go, you know what, I kind of like these guys. I'm going to check them out a little bit more than I have, or maybe for the first time. Yes, that's what we're hoping for. But then you do have the prize pigs. No effing way will they ever listen to this show.
She's a soccer mom.
Right.
And I mean SOCKHER.
All right, Jennifer, hang in there, okay?
All right. See you later.
All right, she's a faithful listener out there in Arizona. Bianca, what's up?
Hey, I'm from New York, and I also am telling you, I think it's the funniest bit that these nutcases call, and they have no idea what is going on. I have to tell you, I would never, until I started hearing this, think of calling to get a prize. It just sort of like seduced me.
Lisa, what's going on?
Oh God, she's still talking, and then now she's realizing. I'm like, oh my God, what happened?
Lisa, what's up? All right, Lisa. Lisa, you there? Lisa.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
Ty.
What's your name?
Taisha. Just call me Taisha.
Oh, it's Taisha.
Is this the Taisha from the other day?
Yes, this is me.
Oh, you're in pain that you got to listen to us every day, aren't you?
No, why would I be?
Are you the one that likes us, that doesn't know about us? What's your deal?
No, I always listen to you guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we gave away the 1,000 then.
Yeah, I figure that. You guys always put me on the line anyways.
Yeah. Hey. All right, have a good day. All right, moving on to other things. Kid Rock got in a fight, whatever.
Yeah, you see his mugshot? What's with celebrity mugshots now?
They're smiling.
Ever since Mel Gibson. I think Mel Gibson really kind of put that trend over where his mugshot looked like it could be his headshot. You know, now they're smiling. I remember the old days. They would put you against the wall and tell you don't smile. If you smiled, they'd crack you with a phone book. I bet Kenny's got some great stories about them taking pictures. You smile one more time, you get the phone book to the solar plexus.
Actually, no one's ever smiled in his presence.
Well, that's true. He just doesn't even hit him. He tells them a story, and they get so depressed that they just sit there with a straight face.
Kenny's like radiation on the face muscles, and when you try to lift them, you just can't. They're just stoic.
Paralysis. And look, Kid Rock's he's smiling. Hey, I'm arrested.
Well, because these guys know that mugshots are really huge on the internet, and a lot of people are going to see them, so why not give it your best look there?
You're going to really have
smile or something different.
You're going to see people bringing their hair and makeup people to their mugshots just so they could look really nice. Telling the cop, hold on a second. No, the light's hitting them weird. Lighting technicians should come in.
Yeah. It was a fight in a Waffle House, and somebody recognized one of the women in the Kid Rock party.
In his entourage.
And then the entourage took exception to that?
Yeah.
And beat the guy up? I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah, it has nothing to do. It sounds nothing like a complete white trash type of altercation at a Waffle House over a chick.
You ever been to a Waffle House? They're terrific.
Oh.
They absolutely are terrific.
Yeah,
they do a good job.
The ones around here are great. Oh, that's right. You got to drive friggin' 500 miles south to hit your first one.
You've really never been to a Waffle House?
I can't bring myself to go to Waffle Houses. I don't like Waffle Houses. I don't like International House of Pancakes. I don't like places that, for some reason...
You never had a Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity?
I've been to them. A Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity I've had the Great American Breakfast. They try to just, get to your patriotism with what you're eating.
I know.
The Great American Breakfast. Shut up.
I'll have an all-American omelet, please.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I think I had an all-American omelet yesterday. It's funny you bring that up.
Work at all-American burger.
You bring up a good point. Leave that crap out of my food.
It's like all the patriotism with it, because they're trying to just appeal to the Midwest, all for country kind of. I don't know. I don't like it because
I want to open up a restaurant that my brother doesn't own. It would just be my place, and I want to have the tourist burger on the menu and see how many people would actually order them.
Just buy an Al Qaeda burger.
Yeah. just packet full of salmonella or something. Just some.
Don't even take that.
Don't even explain what it is, but it is just some horrific thing where you just rub the meat on the floor in the kitchen before you cook it up.
I don't like any of those places because all the forks and plates and the coffee cups, they all smell like old eggs. Like they can't quite wash everything well enough to where it doesn't still kind of stink. And I find myself like drinking something and not breathing through my nose as I'm drinking it, or eating something. The same thing. You got to kind of hold your breath because it's this rotten, eggy smell all over everything.
And the problem is that at Waffle House, I have eaten in them, but it's like, all right, we get it. Waffles. If you want a waffle, you order a waffle. You don't have to obsessively name the establishment after one breakfast food. It's Ted's Egg Emporium. No. How about that? Omelet Village coming up. How about this? If I want a waffle, I'll get one. You don't need a Waffle House.
Waffle House.
International House of Pay. It's rather important for one piece of fatty carbohydrate crap.
They're doing themselves a disservice because there's been a bunch of times I have driven by a Waffle House hungry, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not in the mood for waffles today.
I don't want waffles.
I don't think they're like anything else.
Hey, come in. We have plenty of other stuff. All I see is waffle.
It says Waffle House on the outside. I don't think you have anything.
Burger House
besides waffles. Well, this is a very good question. We don't know how to do this, Todd. Todd, what's up, buddy?
How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Hi, all this talk of degrading women kind of makes me feel nostalgic. I was wondering if there's going to be another Fatty Pig Fatty.
Fatty Pig Fatty was one of these contests that maybe we did, maybe it went on too long, but it was one of my favorite contests in recent years that we did on the Opie and Anthony show.
I just enjoyed the name.
I enjoyed the name. I enjoyed Cleveland's participation when we did the virus show, not this summer, but last summer. And we decided to do Fatty Pig Fatty in front of the audience, and these monsters started walking up the aisles toward the stage to win money and have a little moment of fame. I had a little tear in my eye. I was proud.
Yeah.
I was proud of us that we came up with a contest called Fatty Pig Fatty.
They were actually Browns cheerleaders. Big fatos.
Leave Cleveland alone. They had a bad night last night.
Yeah, they must be bumming out.
Leave them alone.
Good afternoon, Cleveland.
Good afternoon, Cleveland. We got to figure out how we're going to bring Fatty Pig Fatty back. I'll tell you what we're bringing back sooner than later is the eggnog drinking challenge.
We are, because the holiday seasons will be here when it stops being 80 degrees out.
Right.
And we want to have the eggnog drinking contest. It's festive. It has to do with the holidays.
And I think we're going to take it to the public for the first time.
That's nice.
Whether we broadcast it or not, I think we have to do it in front of a live audience this year.
They do miss out on the smell of the whole thing.
Wow, boy, do they.
Yeah, that's a part of the contest that only we get to really enjoy.
Yeah. There's one of the Fatty Pig Fatty contestants from the Cleveland show.
Dude, okay, here it is. The mic is blocking her face. So all I see is the picture and not face. I thought it was someone mooning.
Oh, no.
I swear to you, I thought that was an ass. It is
her belly.
Her belly. It's got an ass crack.
Well, yeah, the belly's so big that, it's being split into two.
There you go.
Fatty Pig Fatty. We'll try to figure out how to bring that back there, Todd.
All right, they're already dead inside.
Oh, they're not dead just because they're fatties. We enjoy the fatties.
They're already dead inside. The hell?
All right. Eggnog drinking challenge on the way. Fatty Pig Fatty on the way.
How about the nice ass contest we were talking about? What are we?
Oh, the lawyers are just having fun with that, trying to figure out how to do it, I guess. I thought we were to star that by now.
Yeah.
What's the problem? We want photos of asses that are nice. We'll give you a prize. I mean, why can't we just do it?
Great asses.
Because you got to go through the lawyer filter, my friend.
And that brings the funny level up, or the interest level up, or the
Steve,
people want to participate level.
Where are we at with the ass contest?
They want to do it. We're just ironing out some details.
For how long?
Trying to get it done as quickly as humanly possible.
But I don't. Yeah, what is taking so long?
As long as they're dressed in the same gear that people scale Everest in.
Silly lawyer stuff, which will get ironed out.
Lawyers.
Oh, the lawyers just blow.
They really are awful. They should all be in men's rooms, just drilling holes and peeking at each other.
Peeking, tapping feet.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know how we feel about lawyers. We'll save it for another day. Bill Maher. I got some great audio of Bill Maher during one of his shows recently. He kicked someone out of his audience for yelling and screaming, but he did it himself. Bill Maher is one of these people. I'm sure you have these people in your lives.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like the guy. I hate him.
And he's not a likable guy.
And I don't even know why. Because if someone would sit down and go, so why do you hate Bill Maher? There's not one reason.
He's one of these guys that doesn't come across as likable.
Well, we do go back to when we first started in radio, and we were very green, and we were out there in L.A. well over 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and we were interviewing Bill Maher when he was just on Comedy Central, and he could tell that we were kind of new to this, and he pointed it out and made us really uncomfortable, and not even in an entertaining way, just in a I'm so much better than you guys way, and we never forgot that. But I don't think I liked Bill Maher before that, and I certainly don't like him since then.
No.
But I can't put my finger on it. He's just not a likable guy.
It's this pompous thing that he's got going. I think it's this, no matter what he says, he's right, especially on his show. Other people bring up valid points, and he just mocks them. It's a I'm better than you kind of thing. And he just, like I said, isn't likable. He doesn't come across as a likable guy.
I think he's a funny stand-up, and he's smug, and that's the problem. It's unfortunate. Smug. He comes off as very smug, and nobody likes anybody who's smug.
Yeah, the KKK omelet, yes. Tyson from
oh, really?
Washington. Whites only. Egg whites only, yeah.
Oh, egg whites only. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he wrote whites only, but I had to help him out.
Yeah.
Egg whites only would be very, very fun.
I didn't get it till you said egg.
I know, but he wrote whites only.
I was going to ask for the address.
All right, here we go. So Bill Maher's just in the middle of his show, and this is how it went down.
And CDC, we'd be able to attack this very bad disease that's attack. We'd be able to attack it. So I think it's about domestic priorities, and I think we need to get the CDC working. We need to get the NIH working. Take that money from Iraq, put it here, and begin to fight that disease so people can live.
See, this is part of the Democrats. I'm from New Jersey. Yeah.
What was he heckling there?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Does
anyone know what he was saying? Like,
Man, you know what he was saying there, or what?
God forbid the news actually reports what he was saying, or
no, I know one guy was talking about Building 7. Is it the same?
Oh my God!
I think he ended up kicking out like 2 or 3 people, right?
Yeah, I think there was like a group of people that were there protesting what he said about the trade centers not being blown up by President Bush.
Oh, enough with the blowing up of the Trade Center. We explain this all the time.
9/11 conspiracy theorists, here's what you are. I understand that you want to have an intriguing story. You're little, spoiled children who want to rebel against mother and father's view of things, and you so desperately want to mean something. You want to connect yourself to the event. You're spoiled children.
Bingo.
And you're wrong.
Yeah,
You're wrong.
completely.
We just talked about this last week because they did another building demolition.
Yeah, they blew up the Sands over there in Atlantic
and what
City.
they have to do for a controlled explosion is ridiculous. No one could live through that and work on a daily basis without seeing anything.
They just never look at that. These idiots, these spoiled children, as Jimmy put it, they never look at what it takes to blow up a building. They just look at pictures that are taken from certain angles or cropped or this, that. They look at what validates what they're saying. Sure. Anything else, they throw away. Oh, that's the government made that up. They did that. And they talk about how the security was taken off of the Trade Center for a week before the thing. They bring up all these little things, not mentioning the fact that a building has to be stripped. You must tear the walls down to get to the structures, to drill holes and put explosives in them. It's not something you could do in secret while people are working.
And on one of those on one of the 9/11 videos that the spoiled children made, where they're saying that it was so conspiracy, one of them actually used the line, the such and such division who was supposed to protect airspace was told to stand down.
Yeah.
He not only, I was embarrassed for him. Like, I wasn't even angry. I'm like, you directly stole a line from Donald Sutherland in JFK, you spoiled child.
Right.
Donald Sutherland said so-and-so, which Donald Sutherland, by the way, that character in JFK did not exist. It was based on a couple of people.
Right.
Something Purdy and somebody else combined to make one point. But that scene never happened.
Yeah.
Just spoiled children. He directly stole the line from the movie. Was told to stand down.
Stand down.
So in this day and age, the way information is passed, someone knew that the attacks were coming and said to the military, stand down. And they said, okay. And then they never piped up about it.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth. It's like people who attacked the Warren Commission as being liars. Do you know how many people you have to get involved for all of them to lie?
Yeah, that's what the whole thing about a huge conspiracy is. It's just too many people that would have to be involved, that people can't keep their mouths shut about anything.
Yeah. Especially the people that are, the people dying of cancer or something, that on their way out, they'd be like, all right, look, this is what I got.
Yeah, here it is.
But you never get that guy. Phil, New York, what's up?
Yes, this is Philip Oliver Hole, and I know what Bill Maher says is correct. There's too many people
Hold on,
involved.
joke name. What'd you say, Phil? What?
Philip Oliver Hole. I'm a friend of Barry McCockiner.
Oh,
God.
You can't even let him talk.
Dude.
Phil.
You got to just cut him off without a word.
Just stop with the wacky name.
Why are you doing wacky name humor? Really?
I know, really.
I'm just having fun, boys.
Well, Phil, you know what? Why don't you just go talk to my friend, Patio Furniture?
That's funny.
He's an Irish boy.
Irish guy, but then it could just be that it's a lounge chair on your patio.
No, it's not. I don't have Patio. It's my friend,
okay.
Patio Furniture.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was a joke.
No, I've introduced you to Patio. He's a big fan of the show. He always yells, love you, love the show. Hey. Then he falls asleep under a closed umbrella behind my house. I don't know. I knew I was going nowhere with that. I figured I wanted to just steer myself into a brick wall so I can bomb slowly.
Jared in Boston, what's up?
Hey, boys. Hey, Hope, I got a menu item for your terrorist restaurant there.
Okay.
The Tel Aviv bus bomber burrito.
What's wrong with that?
It's too long.
I kind of like it.
No, a bus bomber burrito's fine, not Tel Aviv. We know where they happen.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I thought you meant the Madison Avenue line that Ralph Cramden drove.
I would have to disagree, though. You're in a restaurant in America, and also they have like the Philly cheesesteak on the menu there. You know, they like to localize stuff. So I think I'm with them still on the Tel Aviv.
It's too long.
Bus bomb burrito.
Oh, this was a controversial on line 6. It was a very controversial remark from Bill Maher. Hey, John, you're on the air, John.
Hey, boys, love the show.
Whack, whack, thanks.
What about the time Bill Maher said, that our troops are cowards because they attacked from miles and miles away?
I don't think he did.
The guys who were involved in the 9/11 attacks were brave and heroic.
He didn't say they were heroes, dude. What he said was kind of stupid, and it eventually cost him his show. But I think he was just saying, in a way, I think he was just saying how the word, and again, I'm kind of shouldn't be speaking for him, but it sounded to me like he was just saying how we throw that word around, like, it's like, it's like they talk the guys cowards, they flew planes into buildings. It's like, as much as you hate their guts.
Yeah.
I always hate when they brand them as cowards.
Yeah, it's always the cowardly act. It's like, well,
no.
Cowardly is the idea that a bunch of innocent people were killed.
Yes.
That's kind of cowardly, instead of going against people that can have the ability to kick your ass, like taking on an army head to head.
Right.
That's brave. That's you got to have a lot of balls to do that. That's the only cowardly part. The idea of stepping onto an aircraft, knowing you're going to take the controls and fly it into a building, the idea cowardly doesn't come up. A son of a bitch, bastard, worse words I can't use here. Yeah. But cowardly? I don't know, man. I sure as hell couldn't do it for anything I believed in.
See, the problem with words like that, what annoys me about them, is it kind of makes you look at the enemy incorrectly.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you like them, of course you don't like them, they're animals.
Whether you like them or not,
but I'm saying,
that's
like,
Muhammad Atta.
You can't be, it's like they are vicious, tough fighters, and we declared a victory in a war and are still in there because the dummies who throw this lingo around, they're cowards and they support terror. And instead of going in there and just bombing horribly, which is all you have to do, we went in there and slowly tried to politely kill these guys.
I know.
It's annoying that this language is thrown around, and it kind of takes away how vicious they are.
Yeah, it's the politeness of this war that's just stinks.
Ridiculous. We have to take a break. Well, we didn't really get into the Bill Maher audio. We'll do it after the break. Bill Maher throwing a protester out of his show live on TV, I guess. Was it live or were they taping? I don't know.
It was live. Thank
so
you,
all
Sam.
those curses went over the air?
Yeah, it was on
Oh, boy, there's got to
it's
be an
HBO, isn't
FCC fine.
It was the HBO.
It's HBO.
Why do you say CBS, though, in one of the clips?
I must be a CBS studio. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Because that confused me.
He did say CBS.
He did, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking CBS. I'm like, oh, boy, there's a fine in their future.
Baby Than is saying they own it.
Huh? All right.
Than is saying they own it. Maybe they own the
He
studio.
did say CBS, and that's why I thought, obviously, he's on HBO, but I'm like,
Yeah.
CBS, what's that about? And then I'm like, did he do something special for CBS? I don't know. Whatever. Hey, this is the sound you got to be listening for tomorrow to win that $1,000. We're going to play this between 7 and 7:30. When you hear it, be the 10th caller. You're going to win the next $1,000, courtesy of the Opie and Anthony Show. In honor of the prize pig, this is tomorrow's sound.
Yep.
In honor of the prize pig.
There is no mistake in that one.
That's what you're listening for tomorrow.
You can't even just slip that in.
Between 7 and 7:30 now.
Is that the Sesame Street guys?
Yeah.
I used to do a joke about them in my act.
Yeah. What was it?
Oh, no, you didn't. You did a Sesame Street joke?
What was it, Jimmy?
Well, I told a true story. Me and my buddy Billy, he used to grow pot in his backyard, and we would smoke pot and get stoned and just like watch those Sesame Street to find those guys because they'd swallow the phone. It would ring, and they'd be, yep, and we would just giggle because we were high and teenagers. But then used to tell that in my act, and I would go, you know those guys? Yep. I think that's how I would do it. It's been thank God 15 years since I've done that joke, and saying it right now, I want to be beheaded. Do you understand? That's like admitting a homosexual act and then acting it out in front of your family. That's how I feel right now explaining that. Turned on.
Let's go to Ken in Jersey. Ken, what's up? Trying to get to break here, but we got Ken from Jersey. What's up, Ken?
Hello.
Hello, Ken. What's up?
Speak.
You.
Who's this?
Who are you, and why are you calling? What's up?
I was calling the Free Beer and Hot Wings show.
For what reason?
For I had a tip on Sounds of the Game.
Okay. Sounds of the game?
Yeah.
All right, what is it?
It was at the end of the first quarter of last night's game.
No, we explained that already. No, we explained that. What were you listening to?
Yeah, you dummy. We already did that.
No, yeah, but you didn't play that one.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
No, you didn't.
Dude, we did play it.
We
What did
did.
you play? What did he say?
Oh my God! Don't try to question us because you're stupid. Your answer is wrong.
It's the sound of the game.
We already did sound of the game, douche.
I know. I was giving you a fucking tip on it, Jack.
Why are you cursing on the radio?
Hey. You can't curse on the radio.
It isn't even free beer, is it?
You're wrong.
Why would...
It's hot wings.
I'm hot wings. That's free beer. What's
Exactly. And I'm side of mayo.
up? You're celery stick.
Dope. Is this free beer and hot wings? What? No.
Look, I know I got a stupid name, but my name is based on a nickname that I got when I was 12. I hate the name Opie at this point in my life, but I'm stuck with it. But to name your show Free Beer and Hot Wings?
You know there was a big meeting. Look, what do guys like?
He has to walk around and go, "Hi, I'm Hot Wings.
I'm free beer."
Free beer is even worse.
And I bet you he doesn't even give out free beer.
No.
Why would you call your radio show Free Beer and Hot Wings?
Guys like it. What guy wouldn't like free beer?
Exactly.
You don't think much of your show or your material if you have to go by a wacky food product.
Well, the real guy's show was taken away, actually, by somebody else. Because my favorite show growing up was always football games and rape.
Wait, what was the one we came up with?
Rape Kit and Crawl Space.
Rape Kit and Crawl Space. That's how we defend against Free Beer and Hot Wings.
Right.
Rape Kit and Crawl Space with you. See, if you're going to go with some dumb thing, go all the way.
Yeah.
Hot Wings.
Cares? Who cares about hot wings?
All right, once again, here's the sound for tomorrow between 7 and 7:30. If you hear that tomorrow, and you're the 10th caller, you're going to win $1,000. More with Bill Maher after the break and some other things. It's Opie and Anthony. Let's go right to the phones on the Opie and Anthony show. We got Lisa. She wants in on the eggnog drinking contest. Lisa, what's up?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. You think you could drink a lot of eggnog?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Are you a big woman?
No, not at all.
No. Interesting. How many shots? How many double shots of eggnog do you think you could drink? Basically, you have to drink a double shot of eggnog every minute until you puke.
Yes, that's fine. I could do it, and then I want to do it on my husband.
Oh, really?
You want to throw up on your husband?
How many double shots of eggnog do you think you could hold in before you have to let it go?
I don't know. Maybe about 10.
10?
10?
Pat from Moonachie did 73 last year. Something like that. 72,
Yeah.
73.
Ridiculous amount.
10?
I'll try. I'll try to do more.
How about you come in and try this out?
I will. Definitely.
And then if you impress us, then maybe we'll throw you in the contest.
Sounds good.
Can you come in this week?
This week, probably yes.
All right, hold on the line. Maybe we'll have Lisa try out for the eggnog drinking contest, but 10 double shots, no one's going to listen
That's
to the
nothing.
radio for that. Who cares? You know, if you want to see how impressive this gets, check out Baby Bird on the internet, on all the video sites, if you haven't seen that video yet. That's how much eggnog we're looking for.
That's a lot. You don't even realize you get so fixated on the fact that he's throwing up so much that you don't realize how much he had to drink to have it come out that fast and with that quantity.
Just remember when you watch the Baby Bird once again today, that's all eggnog from the eggnog drinking challenge.
Yeah.
There was nothing else in his stomach that day. He was fasting.
No.
For the contest. And look at what ended up coming out of him.
Just
to the
ask
point
Pat
where a lot of
Duffy.
people think it's a fake video. Baby Bird, if you haven't checked it out yet. It's amazing. Go to break.com. Give those guys a little support today. All right, back to Bill Maher. So protester starts in and Maher interrupts his show. Let's try to get to the end of this clip.
H and CDC, we'd be able to attack this very bad disease that's attack. We'd be able to attack it. So I think it's about domestic priorities, and I think we need to get the CDC working. We need to get the NIH working. Take that money from Iraq, put it here, and begin to fight that disease so people can live.
See, this is part of the Democrats.
I'm from New Jersey.
Yeah. Like I even... Boy, sometimes here at CBS, I wish the sound wasn't working.
Jersey is going.
I didn't even know what that was saying.
So you got a protester in the audience there.
Yeah.
I have no idea what he said. No one has a transcript, really, right?
Something that Mommy and Daddy probably wouldn't listen to. So now he has to come up and jump up and down and kick and scream somewhere else to get attention.
Yeah.
Notice me. I'm an overprivileged suburban boy. New Jersey, downstairs. Notice.
And
he's even whining when he's yelling.
And please don't be confused. I don't like Bill Maher, but so far handling it perfectly. He's like, yeah, whatever, and continued on with his show. And then this is what happened.
But you know, see, this is the problem sometimes with government. Hey, do we have some security in this building? Or do I have to come over and kick this guy down out of here? Could you get the out of my building? Hey, ouch.
So it makes it look like Bill Maher, personally, kicked the guy out of the audience.
Yeah.
As he goes to this guy that's protesting, there's already 3 or 4 really big guys around him.
Oh, yeah.
And then brave Bill Maher is now going to help and be the hero today. Wow, you hear what Bill Maher did? He really didn't do much, except leave his post and go into the audience. And
he could headbutt him and kill him with that huge forehead.
He was like the 4th or 5th guy in to kick out one protester. So, and then I guess there were more protesters in the audience. It continued.
They won't chant Jerry for you, though?
Is it that hard to throw somebody out of a building?
Oh.
I'll kick your ass out of here, too.
What about what?
What about Building 7, Bill?
Oh, you mean the one that was hit by a huge piece of the World Trade Center and fell down?
That one.
Dummies.
All of a sudden,
dummies.
All these idiots are metal engineering experts.
Yeah. They know. Buildings never fallen down. Well, a couple of jet planes have never hit them either. So
amazing.
Throw everything else you knew out the window.
Just what they reach for, and
yeah. They'd rather it be some big government conspiracy. That way they could fight the man than it just being what it was.
They don't like the idea that we get. It makes them feel safer in a way that the government had something to do with it because that's a controllable, tangible thing.
Yep.
The idea that we really did just get our asses kicked and we weren't looking is a really weird, helpless feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
And, well, it's a very, very small percentage that believe this crap.
They're just childlike, and they're just dummy. They're phonies.
And when they talk to you, it's like, no, look, I've seen the picture that you're showing me. You're showing me a cropped picture or a picture that when they showed the other side of it, you could see that there are aircraft parts there. Because they always want to say, there was no sign of any airplane at the Pentagon. And then they show like a landing gear somewhere. It's like, well, what the hell was that? What were they saving that for? What was that, someone's paperweight over at the Pentagon? Bunch of jackasses. Stop it.
Then you got
whiny.
Another one that piped in. I think there was a total of 3.
Bill, I was only allowed 2 guests, so things should be okay after that.
No, it's great. No.
Anyway.
You have good friends.
That one's not mine.
Yeah, this is the problem with live television. I guess it gets around that if you're on live, then the nutcases. Yeah, and you are a nutcase, Building 7.
Exactly.
You know, they're just douches. The more I read about the Kennedy assassination, which is what I hate to say it, but I'm turning around against the conspiracies.
You just think it was Lee Harvey Oswald and
with a lucky few shots.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not convinced of that yet, but I'm so much more convinced of it than I've ever been. The more I've read, the technology has actually hurt the conspiracy theorists.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, nowadays you can do all kinds of things with lasers and actual... They used... did you see the one where they made a couple of ballistic dummies and took a shot that was supposed to be exactly like the shot was taken, and the bullet really kind of did do what it was supposed to do. The magic bullet.
And the photos, right? The Kennedy conspiracy people always have these weird names for the little things in the photos. There's one photo taken from a weird angle. I think it's from the angle not of the grassy knoll, but the other side. And there's a little figure in the back. They say it looks like a guy in a police uniform. It's a black figure, and the Kennedy people called him Black Dog Man.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like a black dog. That was his name. And they did some kind of a thing recently with a computer, and the guy showed how he mapped out Dealey Plaza. And he goes, if that was really a man, by the scale, he's 2 feet tall.
No kidding.
And again, that doesn't prove anything, but just
midget conspiracy.
Because they do know certain heights relative to that thing in the photo. They know how high...
Well, I was there that day, and I did see something from...
But who better to use than a midget, if you think about it?
No one would suspect a midget.
No one would suspect a midget.
Ever.
Right.
Everybody would just start laughing and pat him on the head, send him on his way.
Even JFK would have waved the pistol because he would have thought like a little pow sign was coming out of it. Oh, look at the little circus thing.
Could have questioned him longer because Ruby's shot would have gone right over his head.
He wasn't even aiming at Oswald. He was aiming at the midget in front of him and he missed.
Jack in Texas, what's up?
Morning, boys. How you doing?
All right.
Hey, so I was at school last week, and they had this 9/11, investigate911.com or whatever the heck it is. And these guys were like, oh, the reason that the Popular Mechanics report was so, wrong was because it's funded by the Hearst Corporation, and that was their reason why. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, the Popular Mechanics version of the whole thing was really good, concise. It had a lot of pictures to back things up and facts and interviews. And it puts to shame anything from loose change and all these conspiracy douches.
We had the loose change guys on. It got to a point we couldn't talk to them anymore because it was so embarrassing. It wasn't even because they were making good points or anything. It was just so embarrassing that we couldn't have a serious conversation with them anymore.
Well, it's like a little child arguing with his parents. It's like they'll never concede a point, which to me means somebody is so bent on proving their point. Like when I'm talking about like switching a little bit on this Kennedy stuff, it's because I've read so much about it.
Yeah.
I've read a lot about it. And it's like when you weigh all the stuff, it's like, you know what? This does kind of make sense this way. If you think you have the power of your convictions, that just means that you're obsessed with one point of view, and you're not going to change it, as will most spoiled children. When yelling at mother and father, most spoiled children cross their arms and don't want to give an inch.
Yeah.
Well, the other interesting thing that I thought was that they were doing was that Ron Paul is the one who's funding this.
Who's Ron Paul?
He's some guy running for president.
He's one of the many that don't have a chance.
I love to just hear quickly from Will from the Bronx about the Pentagon. Will.
Yeah. What's up?
All right. Why don't you think the Pentagon was hit by a plane?
Nah, I don't think. I know you guys are gonna trash me about it, but this is what I believe. I'm not trying to change your minds, but
all right.
I don't think I got hit by a plane because they didn't find the engine. They could have identified blood, but they can't find two engines. You know what I'm saying?
No, but they did find engine parts. There's pictures from the Pentagon with turbine rotors. The engines came apart, but it was hit by a plane. They have the outline of the actual plane where it went in.
Nah, but the size of the turbine motor that you saw on the picture was way smaller than the plane they said hit the Pentagon.
Oh, it was from the turbine unit they used to power the plane when it's still sitting on the runway.
Right. Can I ask a question, an honest question to Will? Maybe you believe that, but if the conspiracy was this well thought out and this brilliant, and this with video cameras and all that stuff, why would they bring the wrong turbine engine to leave there? Do you understand? If they thought all of this stuff out and they somehow hid all these passengers, why would they make such a basic error as to not have the right size engine on the plane that was supposed to be found? Knowing the NTSB was going to investigate.
It was the right size engine.
But I'm just asking him from his point of view. How would that happen, dude?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, what about landing gear? They found landing gear.
Let me go real simple, Will. Where did that plane go?
I have no clue. I don't read up on that.
Now, since you don't have a clue about so much, wouldn't the obvious answer make a lot more sense than this ridiculous conspiracy theory?
Nah, to tell you the truth, the obvious answer would be the spoiled children thing. I mean, look at Charlie Sheen.
No, I'd rather not.
Hold on. All right, thanks, Will. We got Vinny in Jersey. Vinny, go ahead.
It's an instinct to not trust the government. I understand that.
Vinny?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
There was no way that a plane came to the Pentagon. There was a 700-foot overpass in a way.
Dude, the guy didn't know what he was doing flying that plane. He threaded a needle and actually hit the building, I think a lot more by luck than by the skill of his flying.
By luck, the guy couldn't fly a plane.
The guy, believe me, it's not that hard. He hit two lamp posts and a fence, which is documented that they were damaged. They hit the building on a bias. It was sort of on an angle. So the outline, people expect this outline to look like a Fred
character.
Flintstone running through the wall.
More research on that.
Hold on, Benny, hold on. One thing at a time.
Yeah, it hit on an angle. So it's not going to be this perfect silhouette of an airplane.
40 feet from the ground.
Vinny, let me ask you a question again, according to your argument. If what you're saying is correct, and I had questions about it too, man, I really did. But why, if it's such an obvious and ridiculous impossibility, and you have to be the brilliant men that would have set this conspiracy up, why would they... Dude, one thing at a time. Why would these brilliant men have made such basic, idiotic errors in this conspiracy?
You guys need to do more research.
You see what I'm saying? I'm asking you a very basic question. Why would they set if the whole thing was a fix? Why wouldn't they have drove it head down into the Pentagon where it never would have been questioned how it came in?
Well, what do you think?
Coming in from an angle.
Dude, you're not answering my question.
People end up laughing when they feel uncomfortable with their side of an argument.
So
Vinny,
glib.
instead of laughing, what do you think happened to the Pentagon?
What do I think happened?
Yeah.
The Pentagon, there was a nuclear explosion that happened in the middle of it.
Oh, you sweet.
A nuclear explosion?
He's kidding. All right,
of course you are.
Government.
All right, Vinny, I know.
Frunkus.
You had to go for a joke because you got uncomfortable.
And a frunkus.
All right, goodbye.
To you too, sir.
Goodbye. I hope he was kidding.
Really?
Dumb.
More from Bill Maher, 2 more clips. So then I guess he kicked out the third protester.
You know what that's all about? Of all the things I've said, and believe me, I've said a lot of things, as you all know, that could get my head on a block. The one that they protest about out here is the people who think that the World Trade Center was a controlled explosion. You see, in that instance, I'm actually defending President Bush. I don't think President Bush brought down the World Trade Center.
There's a ghost in the audience. Wow. Oh. Boo. What an ass.
Bob Edwards.
I don't think President Bush brought down the World Trade Center. And cows disagree with me.
Oh,
You went with an owl?
That's a ghost. What an ass.
We got some what about? Chris on Long Island. Yes, Chris. What about what?
Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to know, what do you think about the flight, I'm not sure, the Flight 93 or whatever with the guys, let's roll? You got to admit that that's a conspiracy.
How is that a conspiracy?
You don't think that plane was shot down by jet fighters?
I honestly don't know on that one.
Who knows?
I really don't know, to be honest with you. I mean, could they have gone into a panic and made a decision that we got to get this plane out of the air? Who knows?
But Rumsfeld had that slip where he said the plane was shot down. Yeah, so.
But I'll tell you one thing: if a plane gets shot down, it's going to rain down in a lot more pieces than making a canyon-like crater in the ground. That thing hit in one piece. I think if it was shot down in the air, it would have come apart. What?
They have 911 calls from people in Shanksville that called up reporting seeing a low-flying aircraft, like maybe a couple hundred feet off the ground, and it could never have been explained. Right around the time that plane was shot down, and all other planes were grounded.
Well, dude, aren't you sure? Are you positive that wasn't the low-flying aircraft?
Yeah, the one that crashed.
No.
Dude, there were military aircraft in the air at that point, and they said they did get to that area, but they got there late.
And if it was shot down, how is that a conspiracy? Like, that means that they shot it.
The government tried to cover it up and try to make these guys look like heroes. I mean,
okay, well, dude.
Well, maybe after the fact they decide to make these guys look like heroes. I wouldn't put it past the government. I think they have it in their power to like shoot down a commercial aircraft. Yeah. Absolutely.
And dude, hold on. There is audio of those guys getting into the cockpit. There's audio of it.
Right.
Let's roll.
Yeah. And they made cell phone calls. You ever try making a cell phone call?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, the old cell phone call.
It's a
There was like 5 of them from that one airplane.
They were low by the time they made the call.
Yeah. You can make a call from a plane if you're low enough. I think one of the stewardesses made a call from one of the on-board planes. So it wasn't even a cell phone.
She was on the first flight.
There's always, there's just always... There's easier answers.
That the government blew up the World Trade Center, but there's a lot of things that they lied about. Like they found one of the terrorist passports a couple blocks away from the World Trade Center, and that's how they knew who one of the terrorists was. But that's a piece of paper, and the black box was completely destroyed. How did they find somebody's passport?
Well, something could have blown up, even though you're probably right.
Wait, where are you calling from, Chris? Weren't you around when that all happened? You see all the paper that was just flying all over the place?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the passport from the terrorist that was actually in the airplane?
It could happen.
It could happen.
You see the stuff that ended up flying around? I mean, that stuff was floating around for days.
I'll tell you one thing. It's more likely that they find a passport from a terrorist than any of this conspiracy stuff is. Why are you so quick to go, and they found a passport? Well, that couldn't happen. But a cruise missile could be fired with no one knowing and have it hit the... he's willing to throw out that ridiculous theory that a passport could be found in some wreckage, but you're willing to accept this drivel about a huge conspiracy.
And this is the beautiful thing. Let me ask you a conspiracy question, honestly. If they wanted to blow up the World Trade Center, and they knew they could do it, and they pulled off...
I'm not saying that they did it.
I'm not saying... Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument they wanted to, and they were going to hide all these people on these planes. Why wouldn't they just do it simple and somehow bypass security and bring in trucks full of massive explosions and properly blow up those buildings from the ground. See, in 93, they wanted to knock out a support column and tip one building into the other. So if this government is this brilliant that they can fake these planes and the Pentagon... Dude,
they probably could have prevented it.
Dude, why then?
The economy boost.
Oh, stop it. The dollar's at a low. What are you talking? Dude, the dollar's, we're equal with Canada. There's no economy
dollars
boost.
at a low. Oil's almost $90 a barrel.
It's the highest it's ever been, I think, or close to it.
And who's getting money from it? Not us.
Exactly.
What do you think? It's friggin' 1930, and the United States is pumping out oil out of Texas. It's the Saudis and the Middle Eastern countries that are making all the money. It's OPEC, Venezuela. They're all making the money, not us.
So, dude, why you didn't answer my question? Is he still there? Yeah. Well, I just simple one thing is, why would the government or whoever did it go through all of that trouble with all of the things that could have gone wrong?
I'm not even saying that they blew up the towers.
But you're saying that it's a conspiracy for the other. What do you?
There's a lot of iffy things about it. I'll tell you that.
A lot of iffy
Yeah, there's
things.
a few questions I had, like there will be with anything, any case. But why wouldn't they just, for any conspiracy person, bring in truckloads of explosives? This way you don't have to gut the building. You don't have to plant. Apparently they planted explosives on every floor.
Right.
Why not just bring in giant truckloads, and then you're controlling a few security people and a few security cameras instead of 4 different aircraft?
Yeah.
It's monumentally idiotic what they're saying.
There's a lot of people that believe it, though. Look at these phones.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Thanks, Chris. We got to move on to Andrew in New Hampshire. Andrew, what's up?
I just have to say about the Pentagon, I think it's like bullshit because...
Oh, you can't curse, Andrew.
Well, you're going to lose your point. Just say, yeah.
You think it's BS? Go ahead.
Because they didn't find any bodies. Like, where are the bodies?
They might not have found bodies that pulverized into a brick wall.
Okay, there was a plane that crashed like 3 weeks ago in Spain or something like that, and like 40 people or something like that survived, and they didn't find one body, not even.
Dude, it was a landing in bad weather, and they kind of overshot a runway. It's a little different than doing about 500 miles an hour into a brick building. You get you know what an airplane is realistically? If you scaled it down to the size of a football, tinfoil. It would feel like tinfoil in your hands. And people are like little grapes. And with it smashing into a wall that fast, you get pulverized. Completely pulverized.
Well, this
You're
guy
gone.
Was, part
you
of the
disappear.
This guy was part of the rescue team at the Pentagon. Craig in D.C., what's up?
Hey, what's up? Good show. Hey, I hear all these people calling, and if they would just talk to some of the rescue workers that were actually there, because I was actually inside the building after it happened, and that front side of the Pentagon was just renovated. They just finished construction. We were given the blueprints right away so we could do our search effort with inside. We found plane parts all over the place, and I don't want to get into the body parts and that sort of thing, whether they're people in the Pentagon or on the plane. But if people would actually take the time instead of listening to all these other BS artists out there talking about this conspiracy, and it's just like the FDNY guys up there doing their job on the rescue site. Down here at Pentagon, we were inside as well, and we saw the plane parts, the same rim that matches the type of plane. I mean, it matches all up. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, they've had the landing gear hub that matched the plane that crashed into the building.
And you saw body parts, but then, of course, the argument is they're bodies of people that got killed inside the building when the explosion happened, whatever it was caused by.
I just don't.
But you saw body parts, right, sir?
There were body parts inside because the Pentagon has the rings. There were a little bit of body parts where the plane and all the stuff finally stopped. And the front of it was redone to resist like car bombs, that sort of thing in the future. So a lot of the blast windows, people are saying, well, why didn't the windows break? Well, a lot of it was just put in there brand new to resist car bombs, that sort of thing. And all the fuel going down the hallways and frying, a lot of the workers there, it's just a shame. And then people just sit there and want to say the government went through this whole thing.
Yeah.
And as you pull up, you can see the path of the plane taking all the light poles, and the FBI there walking through, picking up all the parts off the grass so we could set up our tents and do all of our work. So, I mean, this is just crazy.
But for them to have pulled off the Pentagon, like, why would they fake that if it's obviously such a questionable move? There's so many easier ways to do it. Like, if they just would have tipped the plane differently and smashed into the top of the Pentagon, which would have been a better strategical move, why not just do that? And this way, nobody questions it. It's silly.
It's such elaborate hoax because there is no traffic right in the D.C. area at, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. So, I mean, it's crazy.
I know, like, they think that there's no witnesses to the plane going. People saw the plane coming.
Yeah.
And they think that they're going to fire a missile, and no one's going to notice that it was a missile.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Craig, thank you so much.
Thanks.
And the biggest thing is why? Why was it done? Oh, to get into a war with Iraq. Well, we already had reason to go to war with Iraq. There was a reason already. To send people into Afghanistan. There was a reason for that, too. Osama bin Laden was already, number one on the list because of things like the coal and embassy bombings. We didn't need this monumental reason to get into a war. Why? Why was it done?
And people don't want the war. It's like, that's the funny thing. Is that even when by the time the U.S. went into Iraq, people were annoyed the U.S. was going into Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Who was hosting bin Laden. By the time the U.S. went into Iraq, most of the country was against it anyway.
Yeah.
Or a lot of the country was. So it's like, what was the point? To get us into a war that the people didn't want anyway?
I'll give you that was a big BS story.
Yeah, of course.
The whole thing
terrible.
That little tap dance show that Colin Powell put on at the UN. That was a bunch of crap.
He never recovered from that, it seems.
No, he's done.
Yeah. Hey, we got to get this last clip in before the break, so then the Bill Maher thing ends with this.
I have some good news to report. One of our generals this week said that we have now eliminated Al-Qaeda in Iraq, who, by the way, by the name now, AQI. I love it.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's great. It's like KFC, AQI. We don't make the bombs that kill the troops. We make the hate that makes the bombs. How come I don't fire my audience department is really the question that's running through my mind right now. Yeah, don't be gentle with them. Ass kicking is what's called for. Well, if this was a microcosm of America, I'd vote for Rudy Giuliani at this point.
All right. Ben in Jersey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? I just want to say thank you so much for talking about this finally. I think these conspiracy theory people need to be slapped with some reality. There's this big slogan, when has fire ever melted steel?
Yeah.
These people, I guess they don't remember that this isn't just a regular fire. You got two, gigantic planes rocketing into these buildings, and that'll definitely take a building down.
Filled with fuel, by the way.
Yeah, filled with fuel. I mean, these people, they picked long flights, so they knew that these were giant bombs. And I think it's ridiculous. People see this documentary, Loose Change, and all of a sudden they're FDA agents themselves.
Hey, Ben, this isn't the first time. We've been on this for a while, and we humored the Loose Change guys. We had them on our show, and it was embarrassing. We had to, just end the whole thing, because it wasn't even an argument anymore, how stupid they were looking on our show.
Because the thing is...
And then they know what they do with this Loose Change thing that needs to be brought up. They constantly re-edit their whole masterpiece.
Yeah.
Every time you do go over there, it's a whole different version that kind of leaves out things that have been proven wrong. And
yeah, that's what they do. They change it.
Well, they're on to us on this, and we didn't have enough research on this, so we got to get this out of the Loose Change thing.
Yeah, and it's such a low budget show, I guess, that they couldn't even get a real voiceover talent to narrate. It sounds like what?
No, it sounds like the whiny idiot he is.
No, for some reason, though, this thing got legs. I don't know. There's a lot of people that...
The internet.
No, I understand. There's more people on the lines here that think, that...
Having questions is one thing.
We took down the towers ourselves.
But nobody is able to just give me any type of an answer that I think is just not stupid. I'm willing to listen. I ask questions. I'm the one that raised this. We were talking about the Loose Change guys. I was asking questions on the show. Anthony was saying, technically what was probably happening. And we finally brought the guys on.
All right, we do have to take a quick break here, and then we'll continue and end this side of the show next, okay?
Right.
And in case you missed it, we'll play the sound you're listening for tomorrow's $1,000 one more time before we get out of here. It's Opie and Anthony. Still got lots to do before we get out of here. We're going to play What Did We Learn on the Opie and Anthony Show. We're going to give you the sound that you need to listen for tomorrow between 7 and 7:30 for the $1,000. And hopefully we can play the Van Halen jump clip. Oh, my God. Just when we thought they were doing okay.
Oh, no. Oh, no, really?
Where's it from?
They're not fighting, but they're playing bad. Real bad.
Because I heard
bad.
that it was really good.
The reviews for the first few shows were great.
Yeah, and now, oh, boy.
Laszlo found them doing jump in Greensboro, North Carolina, September 29th, so a mere few weeks ago.
Yes.
It's awful.
I got to hear it.
It's absolutely awful. We'll get to that in a second, but Shane has something for Jimmy. Shane in Philly, what's up?
What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Hello,
Hey,
Shane.
listen, I was listening to everything earlier, and you guys are putting up some really good points, but the callers that you had in discussing about the conspiracy, they knew nothing, so they were a bad argument against it all.
Okay.
Like, Jimmy, you said you wanted to ask some questions to get some good answers, so...
No. Questions like... I've asked questions over time. I'm just saying a basic question, like, why would they make such basic errors that the conspiracy theorists claim that they make? The wrong engine parts and these impossible flights and cell phone calls. It's like, if they're brilliant enough to sneak explosives in and to set everything up, why would they make such basic errors?
Well, you got to look at it the other way. If it was so basic, don't you think people would have picked up on it? Don't you think security in the World Trade Center would have seen a van full of explosives, like a white van or whatever, in the basement? Don't you think they would have picked up on that?
Well, I'm saying
a little bit more.
Well, don't you think they would have seen people loading explosives in to take down the World Trade Center?
No, because if you look at the history, a month prior to the World Trade Center, explosions, they actually had the World Trade Center was closed. They closed both towers on 2 different days. They closed one tower, the one for 2 days, and they closed the other one for 2 days.
Okay. All right. Okay.
The employees, it was for renovation.
All right. I'll buy that. But do you understand how long it takes to take a regular building and prep it and get it ready for a controlled demolition?
I do, yeah. It requires a couple of key things. It requires explosives.
No. Time. I'm talking time-wise. Do you know it takes a little longer than 2 days?
Mm-hmm.
And then put the offices back where no one would even know that any work was done in those 2 days. Let me tell you something. I'm getting some work done on the apartment I just bought, and they're just doing a little painting and a little construction crap. And they're attempting to put it back how it looked before they started, and it's impossible. And this is with just little painting and little construction. There's dust everywhere.
Do you know what it takes to set up for a controlled explosion? How much time? It takes like at least
more than
weeks,
2 days.
if not months at times. You have to gut the building to get to the structures, the beams, and drill them. Sometimes they and for iron buildings, you have to use special cutting explosives.
Yeah, thermite. Thermite is the main thing.
Yeah.
Thermate, which is a sulfur compound, which is used, which burns at over 3,500.
No, it's not. It's not even so much that. It's a wedged shaped piece of iron that cuts through I-beams. And those would have to be loaded in by the hundred for a building of that size. If not thousands. How is this done when the building was closed for a day or 2 days?
Because there's a couple ways to destroy a building, and the one way they used was they cut the core columns, which will cause the kink in the middle, which we all saw when it falls. That's the most standard way to demolish a building.
And so everyone goes back to work after 2 days, and they don't notice anything different around their work environment. Nothing.
No, they weren't there. It can literally...
When they came back! After the 2 days that the buildings were closed, you don't think one person going to work went, wait a minute, this is not how my desk was set up, or wait a minute, there's a lot of dust in the area.
No, but they didn't have to go into the offices to do anything. The offices weren't involved at all. All you gotta get is
now that goes against what everyone said from the videotapes, where you see explosives being fired off on floor after floor instead of it being.
I completely agree with you guys. I completely agree with you on that. Loose change. I mean, it had some good points, but a lot of it was ridiculous. Talking about how there was rockets on the planes that shot out before they hit it.
Okay,
that's all ridiculous. No, I completely agree.
So the theory of explosives being planted on every floor was shot to hell. So a new theory was made up that some main master beam that could take the whole building down was demolished, and that brought the building down from the point of where the plane hit all the way down.
No, I mean, there wasn't just one main beam. I don't know about that theory. There was 6 main core columns that if you took them out.
Now, isn't it coincidental?
All right,
but isn't it coincidental?
I don't argue with you guys. I know you guys are low on time. I just want to say one thing. There's another movie out there that really explains in really great detail. It's called Zeitgeist. You can stream it free on Google. It's a lot better movie than Loose Change ever was.
I've heard about Zeitgeist.
Yeah,
why can't they just name it a little easier than Zeitgeist? Who spells that?
Zeitgeist.
Let's
Is that German for bullshit?
Whoa.
Whoa. I didn't say it.
Whoa. Dan in Philly, what's up?
Rules.
Oh, what's up, boys?
We're in a speed round. What do you got?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that the people that believe this crap is what's wrong with this country. I mean, I'm just floored by how many people are so incredibly stupid. It's amazing to me. They're probably the same people that call you every day trying to get $1,000. You know what I mean?
You're comparing them to prize pigs?
Yeah, exactly. They're just a bunch of prize pigs running around and nobody knows nothing. It's amazing.
All right, thank you, Dan. Let's sorry about that. Let's go to Alex in Boston. It's a speed round right now. Alex, what's up?
Hey, I got a theory about what happened to all those missing people on the plane.
Yeah.
They're all living on the island now, being chased by the others.
Yeah, they're on Lost. They're on Lost.
That's what it is. They're just on Lost on an island.
Let's go to Keith in Boston. Go Sox, go. Keith, what's up?
Nothing much. Maybe they're all on the island with David Copperfield. Hey, 9/11 Commission had a report on the History Channel that said that F-16 planes went out to sea after the Pentagon got hit, and they said that they think they went out to sea because of the Russians were maybe attacking the United States.
Hey, Van Halen was playing in Greensboro, North Carolina on September 29th. Wow.
I like the left turn after somebody makes a comment like that. It's just like, we just sit here thinking for a second, then, all right, on to the next.
I really enjoy the listeners that they call up with a good point, and then, or they think is a good point, whatever, and then you just watch their brain fall apart right in front of your eyes. Literally, pieces are just falling out.
Yeah.
It's just falling apart. Hey, Van Halen, listen to this. They did Jump. It was way out of tune. I guess one of the parts in Jump, I'm not sure which part, was pre-recorded.
Really?
I think.
Probably the keyboard,
Probably
maybe.
the keyboard's
very prevalent in that song.
And it looks like someone might have messed up, or it was recorded too fast.
I think it's Wolfgang's fault.
And the band was trying to play along and just butchered it.
Oh, yeah, it's Jump. Yeah.
This is just noise. This is if like a junior high, like a bunch of junior high school kids got together and they want to start a band. This would be their first attempt to jump.
Man.
It is all over the place.
Wow.
Stephen S. from Bay Shore, I read that they had pre-programmed the keyboard and played at the wrong speed. Oh. Here's a little more.
Are they using a Victrola?
I'm sorry.
You're just too darn loud. Come on. Back to the Future, Joe.
Oh. Damn it. Got me.
You know what it was? They had the synthesizer that played. It was supposed to be we're a little bit older, but we ain't much wiser.
Sounds like someone pointed at Eddie and went, just save this song, please.
Oh. Sounds great.
Wow.
Eddie sounds good.
Well.
Why don't they just hire a keyboard player?
I don't know. That's
What's the matter with them?
Yeah.
That is a mess right
They
there.
just like sample it and run it and at the wrong speed. Can't somebody immediately identify that's a problem and fix it?
Kevin in New Rochelle. Kevin, what's up?
Yeah, I got a word we learned.
Yeah.
Apparently, Opie and Anthony talked down to women in a unmemorable, non-specific way.
Thank you, sir. And in honor of the prize pig, this is Tomorrow's Sound you got to be listening for between 7 and 7:30. Yep. Pasquale, Jersey, what's up?
Hey, how are you? I know you guys got to go. Just the whole theory about the bombs inside the building. I'm a miracle survivor from 9/11. I was actually inside the building when it collapsed. And
Are you the one that rode the floor down from
the one that rode
from the top and surfed the wreckage down? Remember that rumor?
Yeah. Yep, that's me. I surfed it down.
Wait, you were in the building when it started collapsing?
I was in the building when the building collapsed. Yep. And
where were you?
Any explosives.
Huh?
I was on the 22nd floor when the building started to collapse.
Well, how'd you get out?
Everybody always says that, and they never listen. I didn't get out. When the building collapsed, I was on the 22nd floor, and I fell about 18 floors, and I landed on top of what would be the fourth level of the building after it all collapsed because the pile of wreckage was that high.
Were you in a stairwell?
I was in a stairwell, yeah, stairway B.
Wow.
So
I kind of have a unique perspective on this, and I was in a 93 bombing when the bomb went off. I was on the 43rd floor. I know exactly what an explosion sounds like and feels like, and when I was inside that building, I'm listening to all these BS guys talking here, and it's total garbage. There was no explosives inside the building, and I just started crumbling from the top, and I dove into a corner and just prayed that I'd have a quick death.
Did you see the?
You're claiming you fell 18 floors though, huh? 18 stories and lived?
I'm the guy that fell 18 floors and lived and had 80-something plus floors basically fall directly on top of me straight down and somehow passed me by. I ended up on a pile of rubble, and I was knocked unconscious when I finally landed and woke up about maybe 3 hours later and was rescued from a bunch of awesome guys over at Rescue 5 in Staten Island.
So you basically kind of just like bumped down almost, like you stayed pretty much on whatever you were on. It was just like it just went down. You didn't actually plunge 18 floors. I mean, you were on something that was falling.
No, I was free falling. I remember most of it.
How do you fall 18 floors and hit like cement? And not Steve from Bayshore said he apparently landed in the marshmallow storage room. How do you fall onto concrete and not die?
I'm a tough guy. No, seriously, it's a miracle. I can't explain it myself. The only thing I could possibly say is that when I dove into a corner of the building, I was by a 12-inch standpipe, and maybe that sheltered my fall all the way down. But I was free falling most of the way.
All right.
Ah, man, we would love to talk to you more, but
I wasn't there.
There's the music.
All
right, Pasquale.
No problem. I just wanted to say from inside the building, there was definitely no bombs inside the building. I was in there.
All right, thank you, sir.
And the bottom line is, like, all three of us are very, very skeptical, but nobody wants to say that he's not telling the truth, because if he's not, you look like an ass calling out.
Right.
Survivors. He might be telling the truth. I just don't know.
I'm not going to question those guys.
I think he's full of crap.
I'm not. Really, you do?
No.
Brad, Atlanta, what's up?
I learned it was wizards that brought down the World Trade Center.
That's right. It was Dumbledore.
It was wizardry. All right, guys, we got to get the hell out of here. Hope you
Yes.
found something today enjoyable.
But join us as we continue
on XM.
Right.
Satellite Radio.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Opie and Anthony.
That's all right, though.
Yes, the old sound.
It's Opie and Anthony and Louis C.K.
There it is.
Stopping by to say hi.
And Jimmy.
Hello. Of course, Jimmy.
Of course, Jimmy. A lot of times if people hear a comedian's in right off the bat, they think, where did little Jimmy go?
Depending on what message board, they're either where is he or thank God.
Thank God. Because, Jimmy sucks, and Anthony sucks, and Opie sucks, and the show sucks.
Gives it a fresher feel. I feel it doesn't.
All he does is this. Just put all blank does is blank.
Great.
Now fill in the Anthony.
Why'd you do that?
Why?
And I know because I still listen every day.
Yeah, I know every single thing that was done.
You just gave him a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't want to because I know that they do that.
All blank does is
Believe me, I've read them all. Yeah, it was a fan site, remember?
They don't understand that concept that no matter what you do creatively, every once in a while you just got to regroup and quote reset and get back to basics, and they don't get that.
No, they got to get some new bouncy titty avatars.
Yeah, I love the bouncy titty avatar.
Yeah. Hey, Louis, you ran into Anthony at the Borgata?
I did. I was at the Borgata playing.
I want to hear your side of this because Anthony said his side.
You scared me. At first, Louis scared me at first because he was standing too close to me, guy.
Yeah.
But I was sitting and he was standing, so I had no idea it was Louis. I had found out he was going to be there, but I was getting there too late to actually see the show.
Yeah. Here's what happened. I did a show at the Music Box at the Borgata, and then I, gambled stupidly for several hours.
What's your poison?
I like blackjack, but I also like poker. I played some poker and stuff, and it's just stupid.
I can't be bothered with poker. It takes way too long to possibly win a couple $100.
Yeah, but
yeah.
And some people are annoying. I got in a little shitty battle with a guy, like a verbal shitty thing with a dude at the poker table.
Why?
That happened to me too.
I bluffed. Weird, but I had a shitty hand and I raised. And then he saw I had to show my stupid cards because I got called. So I turned over my
2-7 offsuit.
Yeah, that's what I basically had.
Right.
And he said, "You were checking and raising with nothing." And I go, "Yeah, I just decided to do that.
That is part of poker.
Part of the game.
It
and
really
he goes,
is.
Well, if you want to throw your money away," and I go, "Yeah, it's my money."
And I do want to throw it away.
Yeah, you fucking idiots.
And if you didn't have a hand you were confident with, you might have folded with one of my raises, and I'd have been laughing at you, douchebag.
Yeah, and I make more money than you do anyway.
Right.
Fucking, I would shoot myself if I woke up as you. Or anyone at the Borgata except for Anthony and me.
At that point.
The whole building full of fucking should-be suicides.
Drunks and the whores that are bringing them drinks.
Yes, that's it.
They really are a bunch of fucking dollar siphoning pigs, those women, aren't they? Here, drink this, stupid.
I got to say, the Borgata, though, has the hottest waitresses.
Good. Oh, yeah.
The Borgata babes. Because you go to I went to the Tropicana once.
Yeah, they have definitely the most genetically lucky cunts in all of them.
Oh, absolutely. I went to the Trop once, and it was like fucking Flo from Alice.
Yes.
The Kiss My Grits woman was bringing me fucking drinks.
She's been there since the casino opened.
Oh, yeah. Chewing gum. How you doing, sweetie? What do you need? Get out of here, beehive head.
When do you ship out?
Oh, just horrible.
But so I'm gambling, and then I just, you actually make decisions to be stupid. Because I went up and down, and I still had $1,000 in cash on me. I was probably about even for the night. And then I decided, I'm exhausted. You know what? I'm just going to put $500 on a blackjack table and go to bed. Like, I wanted to lose quickly so I could go to bed sooner.
You nailed it, man. We explained that on a past show in Vegas. Like, I had just a couple $100. I'm like, I want to win this fast lose this fast because I want to go to bed.
I want to go to sleep.
Why couldn't you just take the chips and leave and then maybe play them tomorrow?
Exactly.
The same mentality went through. And then I won a couple hands and I was getting mad. Like, no, I just want to lose this so I can go to bed.
Exactly.
But anyway,
Or
sorry.
I could have taken that 500 and gone to the gift shop and bought something.
Buy something
for $500.
stupid, and it's worth more than getting
a music box
Your
and then
head-
like broken it, thrown out the window. That would have been more.
Your head
more
gets fucked up when you're in the
Yes.
casinos because with this $200, won a couple hands, now it's going up, and I'm like, now it's gonna take longer to lose this, and I just want to go to bed.
Exactly.
$500, you could have bought 4 suits.
Exactly.
I wonder how many people actually do exactly what you're mentioning.
You mean just to?
Yeah, just to blow the money so they can finally crash.
Yeah, I think it happens a lot.
You
I see
start
a lot of
playing
people do.
stupid.
So I'm walking around looking for a table to put 500 on, and I get to the $100 tables. And then I see Anthony, and I see him like 3/4 view from behind, and I go, "Oh, that's Anthony," and he's just staring at his chips and cards. And I debated not going up to him because
you don't want to be the cooler.
Well, no, because when you see somebody in their bad element, like I saw this story on his face that he told me, didn't need to tell me, that he was in Manhattan. He had no reason to be there. He's in Manhattan, and he just went, "Fuck it, I'm going to go down to Atlantic City and just make myself feel bad." And it's kind of like for me when I would go to Times Square back before there was the internet and you had to go out and get porn. You had to go make a fucking errand of getting disgusting porn.
I'm running an errand.
Yeah. So I'd go to Times Square where the most disgusting porn is, and I'd get all kinds of awful things that I'm ashamed of. And then I'm walking with them under my arm, and I run into somebody, and I'm like, "Hey, yeah, don't even look at my face right now. I'm a werewolf. Please don't talk to me." So that's what I felt like. I'm seeing him in a bad state, and I stood behind him just waiting for him to notice me. And then he looked up and he went like, "Oh, hey, I heard you were here, but I didn't. Please just let me lose my money."
I was just losing it. And then Louis just said, "Well, I'm going to sit down and we're going to gamble."
And I lost my 500 in one shitty hand.
It was just so bad.
You did 501. Wow.
One hand. Then I dug.
But see, that's a lot of fun.
I lost another 500 sitting.
What
with
I
him.
love about blackjack is getting like let's say us together and playing, and then it's not even really about winning or losing. You're just having fun, busting each other's balls.
It is fun when you have a good table. When you have a good table, fun people. But if you're just sitting there rifling through your chips, looking at the dealer with nothing but contempt, and the second I go, like, I'll bet 100, win, lose, and then when I make that big fucking bet, insurance, because the dealer pulled a fucking ace.
Yeah.
And no matter what the deal is showing, like I could have a 17, and it's in God's hands at that point. I can't hit it. You're done. You get a 17. The dealer is showing a 9, and you're sitting there going, maybe the dealer has like a 7 under there and is going to pull this. No. What does the dealer always have in the hole? Oh, it's a face card or a 10
every time.
And he acts surprised, oh wow, what's insurance? What's insurance?
You get to put some money up on the insurance little place on the table, and if the dealer does have blackjack, you win that bet.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. You can bet like half of your initial bet.
When did they start that?
It's been for years. Yeah.
I've never been at a table for that.
Anthony was losing so bad. He had such shitty luck that at one point the dealer was showing a 3, which means you probably got a good chance.
Oh yeah.
And I made a joke that I bet she's got an 18 card under there. Like that's gonna somehow magically. So then she turns over. She has an 8, and the next one's a 10.
A 10.
She goes 21.
Louis like, I'm sorry. I go, no.
You knew.
You called for the 18 card.
Yeah, and plus there's some Indonesian guy who's really betting a lot of money next to us.
Yeah.
And he's looking at me,
not very happy with the 18 card comment.
No.
But they will do that so much more often than you will. Like I don't know how many times the cards are flipping. Boom, there's a queen. I got a queen. I'm like, all right, they go around the rest of the table. And 3. 4.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there, and then when the dealer's got a picture card showing, it's like, where's their 4?
Never.
And 3? Like,
Never.
not all the time, but most of the time. They turn that fucking card over and they got a 20 so many times.
You know how hard it is? Like when I got a queen showing, I fucking pray for a 5 and I never get one. Sometimes I'll get like another face card, which is boring, and I'll fucking just quit the hand right there.
Just leave.
You gotta fold.
You fold. Fold. Blame.
I would love to go into a casino with like money on a hidden camera and fold every time I have 2 face cards. I fold. This is a bunch of bullshit.
Double down on your 12
like a
and 13.
7 and a 9. You fucking just bet it all. I guess they have an ace
I'm all
showing.
in.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Just all in.
Let's say hi to James in Georgia. James, what's up?
Hey, how's it going? Love your show.
Thank you.
Hey, my mom was a blackjack dealer on a riverboat in the Mississippi River in Iowa.
Yes.
And that insurance, man, that's a sucker bet. You never want to bet that.
Yeah, no, I don't bet the insurance, but
you know what they do though? If you have 21 though, and they are showing an ace, and you can do even money. You got to do that. That's,
every time.
You're an asshole if you don't do that.
I always take the even money.
Yeah.
What's that mean? If you have 21 and
if you have 21 and they're showing an ace, that means if they have 21, you get nothing.
You push.
But you can say I want even money. And then you won't get 2 to 1. Oh, God, this is boring. Then you won't get.
We're just explaining blackjack.
Yeah. Like this is one of those shows where
you get better odds of the blackjack.
Yeah.
Let's go to Adam in Alabama. Adam?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
I love the show. Just wanted to say, hey, yeah, y'all just commented on what I was going to say. On the insurance, you don't win the money.
Insurance.
You just get to keep your bet. You lose what you put up for insurance. The dealer will take that away like a bitch.
Oh, but you keep your bet. So you might lose 100 or whatever, but you keep your bet.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever you put, half your bet is the insurance, and then when you lose that, if he does have blackjack, if he doesn't, well, you keep your bet up, but you lose your insurance money.
All right, so it's basically just an additional gamble.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, because you already risked the money, so it's stupid that you're throwing good money after bad.
If I had a G up there, I would do it, but I wouldn't do it. If you're betting $1,500, I wouldn't.
It's also the hand. If you want to protect a good hand, then you would do it. Like if you got a crappy hand, that's probably not going to win anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Thank you, sir. Let's go to John in Freeport before we move on here. John, what's up?
Oh, man, I just going to say I got plenty of friends that are dealers, man, and when they kick ass at the tables and put people out all night, hell, they go to another boat and play. They're hot on their luck.
Oh, you mean because they feel like they're lucky?
They're lucky.
Even though they're not winning actual money?
A lot of dealers I've talked to don't play the games.
Yeah.
They don't gamble.
Yeah, they know how ridiculous it is.
Exactly. They see people losing their money, so they just go, I'm not playing that. Screw that.
How stupid are these people that I'm dealing to?
Jesus. I get taught every 4 seconds how dumb this is.
I need Keith the cop to go with me, though, to the casinos, because I realized he's the guy that keeps me in check. I'm a child when I'm alone like that, because I brought about $5,000 up to just a little over $30,000 and left the Borgata with $1 in my pocket that I had to give to the guy for bringing my car up.
Yes,
so I left with no money. I had a car that I just threw away.
Yeah.
I could have had a car.
There was a car.
Did the people get mad if a dealer was beating you, and every time the dealer beats you, he goes, yes?
I think so, yeah.
I would kill the
You could have probably gotten 2 Ford Focuses.
Yes.
30 grand?
2, and just
2 Ford Focuses.
strapped in and played bumper cars
That's
with them
it.
with
That's
a friend.
what you could have done
Brand
that.
new cars,
You could have
and
done
just
that.
play bumper cars and giggle our asses off.
Yes.
But instead, I gave it all back.
How about this? You could have bought your fucking pal, who maybe doesn't make as much, a fine gift.
I could have done that too.
Or given it to us. You could have bought in a Ford Focus, gone up to a fat girl that you see all the time that's lonely in your neighborhood.
Here.
And say, here's the car. This is for you, you fat cunt. And
Sort of a backhanded gift.
Like she's got to take the car, but
Yeah.
What would
and
it
then
take?
have I'm a fat cunt
sit there
written
going,
on it so that she has to. And she's like, I got to take it. It's a good car.
What would it take for you to walk away?
To walk away, that's why I'm saying I need Keith the cop there with me, because it wasn't even like it was early in the evening. Early in the evening is very difficult to walk away because it's all night. This was well into the night. I think the morning already. It was stupid of me. So Keith always goes like, you want to leave? Because especially if I start losing, I go, all right, and then I'll say something like, all right, a couple more hands. Let's see how those go, and then I'm out of here. So I probably would have lost a little more and then gone, all right, let's go.
Dude, if I'm up 1,000...
But if I'm alone, I'm like a child.
I just don't have the bug to gamble, because if I'm up 1,000, I'm so out of there. Like, all right, that was fun.
But the only way you make...
I can't stop.
The only way you get up to 30,000 is by making the max table bet, which is 6,000.
Yep.
So I was making $6,000 bets, and, I'd win. I'd win. It was like, holy shit, I'd hit a huge hand. I got blackjack twice in a row
But it takes
on $6,000
It
hand.
takes a bite out of you as a person.
It certainly does.
When you go and you sit all night and you go up thousands of dollars, and then you feel that losing it makes you sick to your stomach, and then it's like 3 a.m, go to sleep, and I had to wake up for a train the next day. And then I got to get up early, and I smoke cigarettes because I always do in casinos.
Feel like shit,
and I lost money, and I'm just
A bite out of you
like
doesn't,
an asshole.
doesn't cover it. It's like
No.
saying Jaws took a bite out of Quint.
Took a nibble on him, tasted him.
Just took a little
Tasted him.
sliver.
Exactly.
And you're on a losing streak.
Am I on a losing streak now?
Yeah, the last
I was
few
on a big
times.
winning streak.
Although the one we can't talk about, unfortunately.
I'm still ahead.
That was a biggie.
I'm still ahead, but I'm saving it for. I'm saving all these losses for tax time.
There you go.
That's what I do.
There you go. Hey, Jay, what's up, buddy?
It's a positive.
Jay Moore, everyone.
Oh, hi, Jay. Welcome
Jay.
I'm finally up early to call you guys. I wanted to say, Louis, your stuff on, every time I hear you on the show when I'm driving, your stuff about being a parent is some of the most, insightful stuff I've ever heard. I always go home and I tell my wife, because I know you guys are talking about gambling. I'll tell you about gambling in 2 seconds, but I don't know the next time I'll see Louis, but Jesus Christ, man, it's funny, it's hilarious, it's
thanks, man.
insightful,
Thank you,
and you're
Jay
onto
Moore.
something. It's like guys like you, that's where comedy's going. It's just people telling the truth about not hitting your kid and saying, treating your kid like it's a goddamn product, like, hey, it works. I
Thanks,
just wanted to tell you, it really impressed me. I was over there in California listening to you, and I thought, Jesus Christ, I got to go home and tell somebody this.
Thanks, man. Thank you, Jay.
How about a
That's nice
compliment
of
for
you.
some other friends?
Yeah.
Jim, Mr. Menza. I was a little surprised. No.
Metza. Like an old Jewish
my high
lady.
definition channel is right next to the regular channel, so I just kept going back and forth to see the difference in your face.
Hey, that's a good compliment.
Absolutely. You can't see one.
It's fantastic. It's you doing comedy for an hour. Well, what am I supposed to say? It's fucking Jim Norton for an hour. It's the best.
Thank you, Jay.
If you guys ever sat at a casino at a table and the dealer has 20 or above for 15 straight hands, where it's Anthony, you seem to gamble the most here, right?
Yeah.
It's a mathematic impossibility. I sound like Kaito. No. It's a mathematic impossibility.
Exactly.
But it isn't. It's a.
I was at the Hard Rock Cafe and I lost $3,000 just because I wanted to see how often the dealer was going to get 20 or above in a row, and I stopped counting at 16 fucking hands.
Yeah, but Jay, it's a mathematic certainty because
it just happens.
Most cards are worth 10. No, I mean it's because
yeah, but where's
there
mine?
Are more cards worth 10 than any of the other kind of cards.
Where are mine?
Where's Anthony's?
Shouldn't I get?
Then fucking give them to me, you fucking cunt.
Shouldn't I get 20s as much as the dealer does?
Here's the thing: you know what cards you have. You're just too stupid to fucking not double down with 15.
I just don't
split
get it.
10s and...
I should get 20s as much as the dealer does. I should be able to pull 21s out of my ass with a 13 to start
21s, no, but...
They do that.
Yeah, I know.
You sit there and go, boom, 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 lay out four. When they start getting to the fifth card that they're throwing down and a face card hasn't come out yet, and then they just start taking your chips while you're on card 3, you're still adding card 3 out of the 5 they have down there, but they're taking your money all because you know it's 21.
Yeah.
Bastards. Nothing, Jay? No comment on that, Jay Moore?
Yeah, Jay, you started this 20 thing. We were waiting for your comment.
No, it's the new me that tries not to interrupt.
Oh,
nice.
Hey, this is kind of strange.
I figured since I fucking buried Ron Bennington that day and he's been mad at me ever since, I would just fucking sit back and relax and let everyone have a nice show around me.
Ronnie did take offense to you honing in on his time.
I didn't know. How often am I up to talk to you guys? I didn't know Ronnie needed to... You know what it is? Ronnie is secretly in love with Anthony.
Who's Ronnie Bennington?
Ron from Ron
Ron Bennington is just a disc jockey from upstate New York.
Ronnie is he's a genius.
Ronnie could, if he ran for president, he could dose me with acid and drive me into the center of the sun, and I'd be very happy about it.
Ronnie reminds me of some guy with like 1930s sense. Like he's got this sensibility that belongs in the 30s, and it seems like he has knowledge, like street knowledge, of every year from there up till now anyway.
If you're going to roll a guy for his poke,
yeah,
make sure you don't know your hideout.
Exactly. He's got like that way of talking that he just fucking knows everything, and you don't doubt it for a second. I love Mr. Bennington.
He's the guy that can talk you into doing acid even though you're 40.
He does make drugs sound fun.
He would have a great argument.
He was across the street from a fucking kindergarten doing coke with a buddy of his, and he got so paranoid he thought all the kids at recess playing on the playground that one of them must have been a midget cop mixed into busted.
Wow.
A midget cop.
And he said every once in a while he would see like a silver flash of a belt buckle, and he'd be like, "That's a fucking bed. They got midget cops out in the yard, man."
Oh, that's funny.
Do you know the joke about the guy? God tells the guy to go to play blackjack in Vegas. Do you know this one?
Yes.
No.
I do actually.
Do you?
Yeah, good.
Jimmy knows.
Yeah.
He just tells him, go bet everything you own. He takes everything out of the bank, and then he sits down at the table. He gets 18, and then God tells him, take a card. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? And the guy says, take a card. He takes a card at the 2. He's got 20. God says, take another card. And the dealer puts down a 5, and God goes, fuck! That was the shortest version of that joke ever, because I don't want to get hung up on.
That's a funny joke. I actually heard
That is a funny goddamn joke.
I heard it in roulette. Put it on black. I heard it in
Oh.
a roulette form, but I knew where it was going.
That's pretty funny because you're expecting a whole, twisty, quippy, gaudy thing.
Right.
God,
But no,
Yeah, and then
God just
says,
yells,
"Fuck."
fuck.
Yeah, but that's a bunch of bullshit because the Lord would know what cards are coming.
Of course he would. He knows
Well, like,
everything.
You know the joke about the Jewish guy and he's drowning and somebody comes by in a boat. You want me to save you? And he goes, no, God will save me. So the boat keeps going and then the helicopter comes. Come on, get on the helicopter. No, God will save me. All that shit. Same too long joke.
Yeah.
And then he dies. And he meets God, and he says, "Why didn't you save him?" And he goes, "What? I sent a boat. I sent a helicopter." But his joke would be like, then he goes to God, "Why didn't you save me?" And God says, "Shut up, you fucking Jew." Which is a better punchline.
I like "Shut up, you fucking Jew."
They are amazing, the Jews.
There's a wonderful joke about a Jewish woman whose son is in the ocean and he's swimming, and he begins to drown, and she screams, "Help! My son is drowning! Help!" And I think God somehow, what's God do? He pushes the kid out of the water. I don't remember the rest of it.
Oh my God, Jimmy!
No.
I know the joke.
Jay, can you tell it? Because I know it's funny, but I fucked it up.
Like Buddy Hackett used to say to his act, the God, she goes, "Help!" It's an old Jewish boy, like, "Help! My son is drowning! My son is drowning!" So God, like, miraculously plucks this kid out of the ocean and, like, puts him on the blanket on the beach, and they're crying and hugging, and the mom goes, "Hey, mister, he had a hat."
He had a hat. Oh, God.
But it was
Fucking Jews.
Oh, the Jews.
Oh, the goddamn
Let's
Jews.
talk about the blacks. How come they can't say ask, but they can say escalade?
An Escalade.
Escalade.
Let me
It
ask
is
you
weird
about my
to me.
Escalade. And stop asking me if I know what you're saying. What is this fucking regarding Henry? I have a head wound no one told me about? It's that fucking, like, mundane shit. Like, I just came to your house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, why the fuck wouldn't I know what you're saying, you black bastard?
You know,
Say the goddamn words.
the thing about acts.
You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Fucking get in a car accident? What? Yeah, I know what you're fucking saying. And why would you be mad at me? Stop telling me you're not mad at me, you black fuck. Yo, I'm mad at you. You know what I'm saying? What's this? That's all I got. Good night.
Take care, Jay.
Take it easy, Jay.
The great Jay Moore.
Thanks,
everyone.
man.
Jay is fucking. It's really hard to be funny on the phone. Jay is funny on the phone.
Yeah, I know.
It's really hard.
Always. Oh,
Bastard is
goddamn.
funny.
It's not only black people that say axe. Like Vinny Barbarino said axe. I know he's fake.
Yeah,
but
Brooklyn
guys say axe. But if it does drive me crazy because if you hear one person with credibility, like Dan Rather or somebody, say ask, that should cure it for the rest of your life. Like,
I don't
how do
know.
you hear anybody say ask and still go, I'm going to stick with axe. I'm pretty sure it's
I'm
still
going to axe. Well, I don't understand why President Bush says nuclear.
I think he's kept it on purpose because he thinks it's charming.
I think you're right.
Charming.
Nuclear is a very red state way of saying nuclear. It's just a
nuclear.
People don't want to budge on nuclear.
It's fucking.
By the way,
nuclear.
Jimmy Carter said nuclear for years.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Nuclear?
It scares the piss out of me that the guy controlling the nuclear shit can't say nuclear.
It's because he knows that other people say nuclear and he doesn't want to make them feel bad.
Nuclear.
It's just easier because when you put this L next to the C, it kind of fucks you up a little bit. Nuclear.
It's like nuclear.
Yeah.
Nuclear. Not nuclear.
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 Nuclear. Hey, Louis, what are we promoting today? We're going to take a quick break here.
I'm going to be at the Egg in Albany on Friday. It's a fucking place called the Egg Casino.
Yeah.
I know.
Not a casino?
No, it's a...
What is it?
It's a theater in Albany. And then
Why is it called the Egg? Because it's...
I don't know.
Everyone there is dressed like a sperm.
That's right. Trying to get in, you can't get in.
Cute joke.
Only one guy gets in.
Why is it... the Egg in Albany, okay.
The Egg in Albany, and then I'm in Northampton. I don't remember. I can't remember the name of the fucking place.
But my favorite of the night, though, is the roulette table. When we finally got up off the blackjack table to make our fortune over at the roulette table.
Yeah, because when you lose your hundreds,
right,
and you go from the $100 table, which is guys in tuxedos and James Bond and shit,
yeah,
and then you move over to the roulette table where it's dollar chips and really dumb people.
Yeah. Oh my God, was that guy stupid?
Very not white at all.
There were two black guys there.
Not James Bond.
One guy that thought he was like Diamond Jim Brady. He's just thinks he knows the game, trying to teach his buddy who just knew shit. And he was just getting in the way and making everything take forever.
I wanted to punch him in the face.
Oh, was he awful?
Put it on the number you think is
Put the one. No, it's got to be. It's a minimum, so you got to put 3 of them on there at least. No, now put the other.
Just
put it wherever you want.
Pick the number.
Oh shit! Shut up. So Louis puts down, some money and wins right off the bat. And he got a nice little stack.
I won
chips.
like $400 in one roll.
Wow! Nice.
And then he just looks at me and goes, "This'll dissolve into nothing in no time," and it did.
Yes, because I was putting $5 chips down, and I had like three chips on a number and hit it directly, and it's 35-1.
Sure.
And,
that's when you should walk away. That ain't happening again.
Huge stack of $5 chips.
Away. That's
no. As a matter of fact, it would have erased what I lost at the blackjack table.
But it was like the first fucking spin of the wheel.
Yeah,
what are you going to leave?
No. I don't have the bug because if that happens, I'm walking.
Oh, no.
Nope.
It's like, okay, cool. That's what you're supposed. That's what you're hoping for. It happened, so it's time to walk.
Yep.
No, you
I
just
didn't. I didn't even tip the valet guy. That's how bad I lost.
Really?
Avert my gaze and get.
Are you a
car
big gambler?
quickly.
Yes,
Put up the window and fucking go.
Big
Only
gambler?
when I go to those places. I don't gamble on sports, and I don't
I can
go
get
to them on
sucked in
purpose.
a little bit when I'm there, but I don't like search it out on my own. If we're there for a show or what have you, then sure, I'll join the fun. But
you know what I understood what gambling was and why I don't do it? I was in Vegas one time, and I don't. And I walked by one of those tables where they have like a wheel with dollars on it, like 20 and a 10.
Yeah.
And you put down and you bet. And I put a single on 20, and it hit 20. And my first thought was, why did I bet 20? That would have been 400.
Yeah.
That's it. That's exactly what it is,
what
man.
gets you.
It's fucking that little moment you have, which for the rest of your gambling career,
No, that's what when you're playing blackjack and you've been betting $100 hands.
Oh, yeah.
And then you decide to taper off and you put 20 on a hand, and they give you an ace first, and you literally say,
You're like, don't give me
blackjack.
fucking blackjack now, you son of a bitch.
I don't want the money.
Don't want it.
Because it should have been 100.
And then they give you blackjack, and you go, that figures. That's what I say. That figures. I go, where was that last hand?
Thanks for the $30, you cunt.
Yeah, fuck it. Just throw it at her head. Throw the fucking chip. Here's your tip, you fuck. Take it. Put my feet up on the table so Pesci can slap me in the face.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. More with Louis C.K. in just a bit. It's Opie and Anthony.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Your home for good, clean, wholesome family entertainment. Wow.
That is such a long way to go just to say.
It's the Opie and Anthony.
And we're back with the XM Satellite Radio portion of the Opie and Anthony Show. Louis C.K. in studio playing the Egg in Albany.
Yes.
And everybody from Albany is now calling. It's called the Egg because it's shaped like one. I figured as much.
Yes, that's what it is.
All right.
I don't know that place in Northampton. I don't know if you could check my website.
Yeah, we'll get that info out there for you,
It's
Louis.
called the baked potato.
Shaped like one. It's called the bacon.
I'm funning you.
All right, listen. Half the shit we talked about during the break, or Louis was, should be on the radio.
I know. We should shut
Talking
up during
about
the break.
the dominatrix. That's
Yeah,
terrific. Are you blowing up someone's spot by mentioning
Don't
the
say his
person?
name, that's
I
all.
won't say his name, but my friend's wife was a dominatrix, and she used to have Hasidic Jews as clients a lot, and they'd be very.
Well, hold on. Your friend was going to this dominatrix and decided this is the woman for him.
Yeah,
which is so bizarre because you had a great line there. You know, he basically married someone that burned his dick.
He married a woman who literally burnt his dick with a hot poker.
But the thing is,
and that made him go, I'm in love.
Does she still dominate him, or
no, not anymore. I mean, I don't know. That gets into areas.
Yeah, you got to think that would be a little weird. He's got to go out of the house to get
well,
that.
Now,
right?
well, the thing is that then it just turned into a regular. They got married. They have a kid. She's a pain in the ass, and he's
literally like is there
literally.
I mean,
God, yeah.
You don't know. I mean,
fucking with a racket. Yeah.
Just became like it doesn't matter what they do beforehand because that's the ultimate, a dom and a fucking slave.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter once they're married; they become the married couple. He's taking the garbage out, and
exactly. There's no cool ethereal sexual thing.
do you promise to love, honor, and shit in his mouth for as long as he shall crawl and be scum?
Until he says his safe word.
Does anyone object to this marriage? Guy stands up in a baby costume.
It'd be great if you could have a safe word in a marriage.
Yes.
You could just in the middle of marriage say thumbtack. She's like, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I went too far with this
I didn't
argument.
realize.
Yes.
I didn't realize we were crossing the line.
No.
But she said that she's
Shouldn't the safe word be cunt, though?
Yeah, it should be.
Well, that
is.
ends the argument.
That's the
Starts a new one.
So
But
you were saying that she had a lot of
Hasidic Jews that were her clients, and that during the business transaction, before they would fall into their role play, they were very rude to her, the Hasids, because they can be rude. They're
good businessmen.
Anybody who's not them, you're outsiders. Like if you ever go to a store run by Hasids, they don't care that you exist. They just it's a different. It's a closed society. I'm trying to be nice about it. Fucking Jews.
well, it is very.
Jesus.
It is a very different and closed society. You're right.
Yeah.
Do you know any Hasidic Jews personally? Have you ever been to their houses? Do you know?
No.
Friends with them or anything?
They're not supposed to.
Yeah, that's
mix
what I
with
mean.
other
And
people.
so it's not like you're saying anything that isn't true. It's just no one knows. They're very mysterious, if you ask me.
And it's a generality because there are. I mean, I go to B&H Photo, which is.
Oh yeah, I love B&H.
And B&H, they sometimes they're very like, you go, is this a good camera? Yes, it's a very good camera. Yes, it is.
yes.
Yes, it's good. And I'm like, all right, sorry. But sometimes the guy's like, it's excellent. It's excellent. I can tell you about it, and they'll be nice. Sometimes.
But if you poke them for information, they all have it.
Oh, sure.
They all know. Like, they're good employees. Like if you say, why is this better? Make them work, and they'll always tell you. Like
Sure
they know.
will. They'll sell it.
I get all my video stuff from there, and every time I've gone there, it's been great. It's not a commercial of the place, but
no, it's great. It is a great place. But anyway,
informative.
But so these Jews were rude to her a lot, and they're living in a society that's extremely like moralistic. Going to some dominatrix and having their dicks whipped. It's not exactly in the Talmud.
Within the bounds of their religion.
I don't think it's part of their bar mitzvah. In the Borgata, it's not in. There's no Hebrew for
getting your dick
fuck
whipped.
me with a strap on.
Right. Jesus, Louis.
So
there's just something about. I think it's something about any lifestyle that has you in this very strict. Parameters as to what you can and can't do.
Crazy.
You're going to fucking be the nut, whether it's a strict Catholicism.
Or Jimmy Swaggart jacking off on a hooker's ass.
Yeah,
of course he is.
Shit like that. Whenever you're put in that situation, you're going to fucking want to get a little freaky.
Yeah.
Get your freak on.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to go to a dom,
so he went
whatever.
to these guys would go to her, and she usually, you talk as two normal people before you start the hitting and stuff. And that's her time that you got to respect her, and they were disrespectful to her. So when she was beating them, she said they were the only clients that she ever hit like with spite, because that's a huge line for her. She would never cross. When a dame is beating you up, she's being very, she's doing it with some kind of kindness. There's a weird, but she said she used to crucify them. And
that's a no-no.
And like inside, when she's hitting them, she'd be like, "You fucking Jew!" Wow. And then the weird detail she told me was that they always had to take their sperm home with them in a tissue.
Get out of here!
Because that was in their religion, was they couldn't leave their bodily fluids behind.
What do they do with it?
Somehow, like God's watching a dominatrix shit in your mouth. And he's, well, look, as long as you take your cum home, it's fine.
Someone's trying to bother God for a second, and then he's like, no, wait. I got it. All right, he took his cum with him. Okay.
He's okay.
All right.
He's still good.
I thought he was going to leave his cum on her floor, and that would have really pissed me off.
As long as he puts it in that cigar box under his wife's shawl.
That's why the tsunami happened. Guy wasn't paying attention to the weather. He was watching some Jewish fella jerk off into a Kleenex and fucking bring it on the N train.
Bring it on the N train.
Fucking
taking it on the JZ to the fucking Bentonhurst.
I knew another dom who used to see the same thing. She said the Hasidic clients, she had one would always come, one of the tranny to fuck him. So she would bring the tranny, and the trannies would a lot of times make the guy shower. She's like, they were dirty, they would smell, and they said that the tranny wouldn't fuck the guy till he showered.
Wow.
The tranny go, I ain't gonna fuck that.
Jeez,
Make
man.
Take a shower.
Let's
disgusting.
Let's get Keith the cop on the line here. Keith, what's up?
Yeah, that's very true, Jimmy. Big in the tranny community. We used to catch them all the time. They would go out and they would look to suck the he-she's dicks.
Really?
Yeah.
naughty boys.
Yeah, and you know what? They would get robbed a lot because, they would be embarrassed to go and, report that they got robbed.
All right, yeah.
The community, they would get the backlash from it, so they would just
I was being fucked by a transvestite, and the fellow took my wallet, and I went to file a report.
Yeah, so we would catch them a lot, but... yeah, filthy animals.
Jeez.
Like the rest I'm not saying them in particular, but, they just happened to... a couple of them.
Yeah.
Two of them.
A couple, too.
All right, Keith.
All right, Keith, I wish you were there in Atlantic City to drag me away from the table.
Well, you got a call. I'll come out there and pick you up.
I know.
But homeless shopping, we're going to start doing a couple interviews.
Oh, very good. Bring them by.
Out on the street doing them, and we'll bring one in maybe later this week.
We got some shit to do on the show in the next month or so. We got the eggnog drinking challenge. We want to bring Fatty Pig Fatty back, and we got homeless shopping spree.
And a best ass contest.
Well, the lawyers over there at CBS are still trying to figure out how we can possibly do a best ass contest.
I think Anthony had it best. He said they have to wear the Everest climbing gear.
Yeah, that's the only way the lawyers will let us fucking do it.
Right.
So there's absolutely no... You can't even see what their ass might look like. She could be a fucking 10 or the biggest fat pig ever.
The lawyers over there are just choking us to death, man.
What's wrong with a beautiful ass? They could even be it's a thong, right? Didn't we say that?
Dude,
like one of those thongs with those strip really up the ass, like fucking just wedged in there.
I don't like that. I wince when I see that.
I wince when I see it too, but you could still see that the ass is nice. And even in those thongs, you could see like where that asshole is.
Yeah.
Like it's just a little,
but it's like just
it's ass crack, and then it's a little spread. It's like, that's where that asshole is.
That's where the asshole is.
Having a lacy rope scraping your anus. Just looks so painful to
Girls are allowed to do, or like they could do shit that guys just could not fucking deal with.
And they never get mud spots.
Yeah. Well, maybe
no
they do.
mud.
Maybe they do.
Well, the
I don't know. I don't inspect it.
If they push a half a log out through a thong, it splits like a fucking
like a cheese
velociraptor's foot. It looks like a slee stack foot. A log when it shits through a tight thong.
Do you think it would curl at the ends too, like an exploded cigar?
Yeah,
like my daughter's Play-Doh machine. Like you push
the Play-Doh Fun Factory.
That's what women should wear underwear that have there's like a star at their asshole, so they shit through it and make like a shit star.
And then they can run in and go, honey, look what I made, and just be the dumb dodos they are.
I made hair for my doll. Like it has like a bunch of little holes.
Spaghetti.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do half of that shit either with the fucking them in their bras. I don't have to put one of those fucking things on every day.
Oh God.
Ugh.
Fuck that. Well, the lawyers are having a problem with us putting our Demented World CD up there on that website.
Problem?
Yeah, they got to ask AF.
What?
Yeah, they're just
Ask AF. They'll say no.
These fucking lawyers, man. It's a CD that we did that's already all over the place. So we're trying to throw it up on a website to get some listeners in the New York area that don't know a lot about us to maybe discover something about us.
Well,
right?
here it is. No fucking contract was ever written out or signed for that CD.
Yeah, no shit.
None. So fuck them. Put it online.
But this is the shit. And then, like, Tracy came in today. She's like, well, before we do the eggnog drinking contest, we got to bring it by the lawyers. I go, you know what? We'll just do it over at XM. She goes, what? You don't even want to fight for it? I'm like, no, I don't really feel like fighting with these guys anymore. We do have 2 places that we do radio, so this is what we do. We'll just move it over to XM, and we'll be fine with that.
We'll plug it all
and she's
morning.
like, but we should at least... I'm like, no, we shouldn't, because I know how they think. It's never going to fucking change. And when we get the boot, they'll bring in another show that they could wreck. So what can I tell you?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lose sleep over the stupid lawyers wrecking our show on a daily basis.
You're better off that way, because they'll probably end up... Then she'll have to fight them and change
Well, she's going to fight anyway. God bless her, because she gets it. But it's like, this is where they got us. That we don't feel like fighting anymore, because they just take all the fun, all the creativity out of everything. Like, why couldn't we just put our stupid Demented World CD up on that website?
Yeah.
Shouldn't even be a discussion. We want to put it up there, Lou. You ready for this?
Yeah.
And give it away for free, and we're even having a problem with that.
Jesus.
Right, Steve? Is that the truth or what?
Yeah.
Do I speak the truth here?
There was
We
no
can
contract.
We can put it online, but for what Ope wants to do is, which is put it on that
give it
K-Rock
away.
website. No, giving it away is fine. There's
We already gave it away years ago. Like, most of our listeners got it for free, and we don't care. And they send it off to other people, and they're getting it for free.
Yeah.
But OpieandAnthony.com, FoundYourMusic.com, those people have it.
Yeah.
We have a new site. It's ONARadio.com. It's like Opie and Anthony Basic. It's Basics. It's mostly for commercial radio listeners, okay, that are listening just on regular radio. And this is a great marketing tool. Throw it up there for free. We don't want any money. Then they learn a little bit more about us. Go, wow, some of the stuff is pretty funny. I'm going to start checking out their show. That's all we wanted to do. Yeah. And the lawyers had to get involved with this one.
Right. It's basically it's CBS's.
That's because you did it with an old radio station that you'd have to ask.
I guess.
Right.
Yeah, but there's no one left at that one. I think it's been sold.
Oh yeah,
since we were gone.
I mean, because all they do is make you stop. They don't. They wouldn't sue you.
Fucking cunts.
If they somehow reared their heads.
Yeah.
But the point of illegal people in entertainment, what they do, it isn't actually to protect you, it's to protect themselves from work later.
Right.
They just go, I might get a call from them and have to spend 14 minutes mopping it up.
Right.
It'd be so much easier to tell the guys who pay me, just don't do it.
Right.
And
that's the way that is, always.
And there's a long history of the lawyers fucking up radio shows for CBS Radio. Long history. I mean, Howard talked about it back in the day. That was the big reason why he was leaving. He couldn't stand it anymore. And it's show after show after show. And then I'm sitting there going, when is the company going to realize that maybe it's the lawyers' problem and they got to find new young lawyers that, A, understand how to protect the company, but also know how to allow a show to be as creative as possible.
Yeah.
Like when they start telling us we can't say the word faggot on the radio, I'm like, why? That has nothing to do with the FCC.
No.
When they say you can't say douchebag on the radio anymore, why?
Say douche, but not douchebag.
Really?
But you
How
want,
fucking ridiculous
But you
is
want a
that?
show that's talking like guys talk, like they want us to get many.
What about dirty cunt?
Context.
Yeah. Where is the line?
it's all in the context.
I can't find the line.
If it's a verb, you can use it. Like if I was out dirty cunting last night, it's totally acceptable.
But when is the responsibility pointed back on the lawyers?
Yeah, no.
Never. It'll
That's
never
what I
happen.
want to know.
Because they're all fucking, the guys that are running those type of businesses are all older guys. None of them have any stake in fighting. The lawyers are only doing what they're told. You understand? The lawyers are doing what lawyers do. The way sharks bite things. That's what they're doing. If the company was going, fight this, fight that, that's what the lawyers would do.
Yeah, but if one guy opened up a fucking firm of real fighting lawyer for this kind of business, he'd make a shitload of money.
No, he wouldn't.
Or if he said, "We're going to take your show and get maximum play out of it."
Yeah,
I will. You guys do what you want, and I'll cover your ass.
The company wants to protect the
they can't do that.
advertisers and themselves. It's not the lawyers, because the company is dictating to the lawyers what they want. Like, we don't want to deal with this. We want this to go away quietly, and the lawyers are giving them the best ways to do that. Because if the company was saying, saying, we want these guys to be able to do this, make it happen.
Yeah.
But they go to the lawyers and go, what should we do? And the lawyers are going to give them the easiest suggestion.
Well, they tell the lawyers to stay well within the You have to stay well within the boundaries. They don't even want you in some ambiguous area. They just want you
you're right.
Yeah, it used to be their gray area, but now so far away from that.
Sure. Let's go to David in North Carolina. David, what's up?
Oh, you were talking about the Hasids a while ago. When I lived in New York, I used to work for a moving company. We were moving some of them, and they wouldn't even offer a glass of water. And when we were done, after 2 days of moving their stuff, they didn't even offer a tip. But when we were moving a dresser, me and one of the other guys, one of the drawers fell out on the floor. It still had clothes in it, and there was an envelope in there. We opened it up and looked. Let's just say me and him got a tip, probably between the two of us, pretty close to $500.
That's great. You're a dirty thief with no excuse. People being rude to you and not giving you water doesn't mean you get to steal $500, you fucking asshole.
Screw that Jew.
So he didn't.
We nailed that Jew for $500.
In the end, I got that
Jew
boy.
He didn't say good morning, so that means I can look through a personal envelope and steal money.
Yeah, the drawer just it fell out. That's what happened.
Ignorant thief.
You
went through his drawers.
You're implying if he gave you water, you would never have looked at that envelope.
Right, yeah.
Well, he did give us a glass of water.
Took some anyway, water or no water, because they didn't give us shit after 3 days of working our hands.
Now we got the story.
Hold on. I had to take all his jewelry because he didn't offer me a sandwich.
But that's what it really is. It always comes down to the person's personal day, because really, now he's telling us the story. He was tired. He was lifting beds and shit.
Yeah.
He didn't like his life. It's not the career he had chosen, so he found an excuse to steal some Jews' money.
His story falls apart, though.
Yes, because...
Dude, if you were still moving, how did you know they weren't going to tip you when you were done?
It's very true.
When we were done, they didn't give us nothing.
But you were
you
moving
stole the money before you knew.
Yeah, you were moving the dresser still.
Maybe that money. Hold on, maybe that money was your tip money. Maybe he put it aside for a tip, and they're actually very considerate. You fuck!
What an asshole!
What happened to the $500?
They must have stolen it. They stole their own tip.
Them.
Well, my wife is from Westchester, and we moved out of there in '99, and this was probably probably 3 years prior to that. But I mean, it didn't make any shit, 'cause I knew it wouldn't. They'd never see it until it was too late anyway.
Yeah, so good for you.
All right.
So now those Hasids also have a prejudiced thing about guys from North Carolina. Exactly. They take your money. They don't care.
They take your money. North Carolina either, so.
All right, Goomer.
I moved up there in '94 when I met my wife.
The story's awful. The story's awful. I have cleaning people in my house right now as we're talking about guys going through your drawer, and I know they go through my drawers, and I have $480,000 in fucking nickels. I have it under my pillow.
Under your pillow.
There's a little bump.
Back then it was just money. I didn't care.
All right,
take care, sweetie.
The cleaning crew that comes in my house must just have no clue what I'm all about. They're all Mexican, I believe, and they come in and they wear the little backpack vacuums. They look like a Buck Rodriguez. Right. And just kind of go around the house.
They're probably Central American.
And probably, something like that. Not Mexican like you, Louis C.K.
Not like me, no.
I have never seen a redhead come in.
Louis,
No, I just wanted to be clear.
I assume they were Mexican. Because they're shorter in stature than normal people.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean Americans.
Yeah. Humans. Louis' next HBO special should be shot in a boxcar.
And I wonder if they go through my drawers and shit like that because
they don't. I can tell you they don't.
What are you saying about Mexicans?
They don't because they're little tiny Catholic people and they're terrified of God and they have real morals.
Well, they're very nice.
They're better than us.
They're very nice.
They would never do that. They would kill themselves before they would do that.
And the guns that are all over the place. I'm wondering if that shakes them up a little bit.
There's guns around your...
Louis, I love the gun.
And you leave them around your apartment?
They're laying around everywhere. That's the best part about not having kids.
Yeah, sure.
I could leave loaded weapons all over the house.
Right.
And believe me, I do. Because you don't know where someone's going to come from.
They go through your drawers. He must love children. He has so many pictures of children. I can't believe he has so many nieces and nephews.
And they play very nicely together, the boys and the girls.
You just gotta wonder. I know the other day, and I felt bad about this. I don't like when they have to clean up like gross stuff or stuff they'd consider gross or anything.
Yeah.
I try to keep all that stuff to a minimum and clean it up myself and things like that.
Would be, but go ahead.
Well, let's say I have a cold and I've been blowing my nose and leaving snotty tissues on my night table.
Sure.
I'm going to pick those up if I know the cleaning crew's coming in and throw them in the garbage.
Right.
I don't want them rifling through my snotty
tissues.
tissues.
Don't use Mexicans to clean their place because they'll throw away. You threw my cum away, you fucking, you dirty spit. You threw away my cum. What am I going to say to God now, you fucking dirty spit?
I'm going to burn because of you.
Because of some idiot.
You threw away my jism.
That was from '83. I came in that.
So my girlfriend had to be off the pill for a while because she skipped the pill for a while, and it was like, all right,
So
I don't
she has to
even
wait to go back around
yeah
again.
wait to go back around, and I don't even fucking play around like that. No pulling out, no bullshit. I don't need any fucking accidents happening.
She doesn't want kids either, right?
No,
and they want to leave their guns around. They don't want
That's
kids.
right. I want guns everywhere, and I want to be able to leave and go to the Borgata and gamble with my good friend Louis C.K. And so we were using condoms, which, I love. The sensitivity of those things are fantastic. It's so much better than putting your dick just bare into a vagina. Because you want to take away the moisture and warmth and smoothness and cover it with rubber.
Like putting your dick in a dead guy's ass and then fucking your girlfriend with that dead guy on your dick. Like somehow if you could wedge the dead guy and your dick in her pussy. It would be just about as...
Exactly. So I left the wrapper, just the wrapper on the night table.
Yeah.
Of course, I took when it was done, and you gotta just awkwardly pull it out, and it kind of hangs in there for a little bit, and then snaps back at you.
Where the load is hanging like a medieval mace, it's just swinging.
Looking for a home.
It's just awful. You take it off, and it's just
because the rubber's got in the tip, and the reservoir tip.
Yeah, and it's just like swinging like a pendulum.
Where does the Hasidic cum go?
That's a good
I don't know where they
question.
put it.
Collected,
Love to
they
find
bring
that
it
out.
back home. Probably bring it home and burn it. While
Maybe they gotta
pray or
burn it.
something. They got to put that strap on their.
Do we have anyone that's...
and
I don't
pray?
Are any Hasidics can tell us what you do with your cum?
Yeah, find out what they do with their cum.
With your whore
Is
cum.
Ronnie B an expert on Hasidic cum?
I don't know. Ronnie knows a lot, but I don't know if he's a Hasidic cum expert.
We might finally have something that's going to even stump the great Ronnie B.
Ask Mr. Bennington.
I bet you Ron collects it. I bet he's got a fucking lunch pail full of Jewish cum and a fucking in tissues.
They have to dispose of it a proper way, or do they collect it in a box or a big fucking garbage bag in the closet?
I don't know the end user thing. I just know what it was like for her. I guess if you Google, Jew cum,
Hasidic Jew cum.
Now, if you Orthodox Jewish laws, bodily fluids,
right? That would work.
Like that.
Really? That would work.
All right, I'm gonna Google
something like that. Well, anyway, I left the wrapper up there on the table, and the Mexicans I know came in, and then it was gone.
Right.
After
so
that, and they had to pick it up, and even though it was just the wrapper part, I was like, they're probably. What goes through their head?
Well,
you
it's
like
a
to
sin
think
to them,
they're
it's a
just
sin.
machines that just go around your house like an automaton, just picking shit up and not thinking for themselves.
Nope.
But no, they probably would go like, ha 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 ha.
No, they don't laugh.
Chuckle.
They get the little tear in the eye.
Really? Because I sinned.
Because you sinned. You took a child away from God.
I used that so I could have sex without the thought of procreation.
Yeah, then they don't like that too much.
And they cry.
They cry a little bit.
No crosses hanging in my house either.
No.
I should have a crucifix on there.
It's weird, though, when there's an acknowledgement of something dirty with somebody that you're not even there when they... Like, I had Playboys when I was a kid, and some of them weren't nice Playboys. They were like fucking ugly, Larry Flint style shit.
Yeah.
And with just women fucking holding their vaginas open like a
gaping asses,
like a fucking raincoat,
like a sailboat.
Yeah,
fucking sail.
fucking coming about with their left labia.
Like elephant ears, like Dumbo ears.
Yes, exactly.
Fucking Dumbo ears.
Like they're showing the size of a shark's mouth.
Excuse me. We got a very important person on the line. We can't let him wait here.
We'll continue that.
Ron Bennington, expert at large.
Ronnie B.
There he is.
I think we finally got one that's going to stump you there, Ronnie.
Oh, great.
Ronnie is always, I consider Ronnie very knowledgeable. He's got a street knowledge that I've never seen in another person. He's very intelligent, very witty, and just very knowledgeable about a lot of things.
What do you know on the Hasidic Jews and their cum?
What?
Yeah, exactly.
See,
apparently, Louis C.K. in studio, he's got a story about a dominatrix. Some of her clients, were Hasidic Jews, and they had to bring their cum back with them. They had to take their cum behind.
They had to take their cum home with them in tissues because God would frown upon them leaving cum around.
Yeah.
My friends here, I have Hasidic Jews in my neighborhood.
Oh.
And
did they talk about that on the street, just like chatting?
Yeah, I did get a conversation, and they will put their cum in a mayonnaise jar.
Really?
Now, in the old days, it used to be a mason jar, and cum that wasn't being used, they would send back to the Holy Land. So in the old days, they would put it in a mason jar, made sure it got back there. Now you just come quickly into a mayonnaise jar.
Okay, and they keep it around the house or something to.
Well, you stock it up, and then there was plenty of it. You ship it out.
Oh, then you ship it out back to
Holy Land.
back to Israel. Wow,
the Holy Land. Yes.
Okay.
What happens to it in the Holy Land?
That's a good question.
They wouldn't tell me there.
I think I know.
I guess you got to join.
You plant a tree in it. Like they did Schindler's tree.
They do plant a lot of trees over there, so maybe they fertilize the tree.
I think they just throw it down at the Arabs from the Wailing Wall. Like, where there's that?
Oh, God.
They throw jars of old cum at the Arabs.
I don't see a lot of trees over there for all the trees you say they're planting.
That's true.
Yeah, they plant a lot of trees, but it just looks like dirt.
They die, that's why.
And then isn't this
blown
weird?
up.
Jesus was a carpenter, and then you don't see any trees. He might have just been a slacker. Like, hey, I would be working.
There was some fucking wood.
That's why he did all that shit. There was no work. He was a shitty carpenter. There was no work. And he's like, all right, let's do something. I was son of God.
Can't find any wood.
Can't
build shit.
Was he a really good carpenter? And he had like a big blue ox, and he was just knocking down tree after tree.
Could have been.
So the lack of trees could be from Jesus himself.
Because he was so large, and he was just knocking down trees.
Giant Jesus.
But also, there's that thing where a lot of the words from back then have been misinterpreted. So it might be that carpenter was another word for, big
Jew.
A big faggot Jew. Yeah, carpenter meant Jew faggot, I think.
Oh God.
In Aramaic.
Well, I don't know if he was gay, but you never saw him with a chick, really.
No, well, not really.
No.
He had a girl, but, usually some gay guys have girls to go shopping with and stuff.
Right. She was a heavy-set girl, Mary Magdalene.
She was a fag hag. Mary Magdalene is the first fag hag.
Oh, God, are we in trouble?
And then at the end of the night, she was always going, "Why do you make me cry, Jesus?" They love to act like their feelings got hurt by their gay friends.
Yeah.
What, fag hags?
Yeah, they just love it.
I don't get that whole thing about, it's great for them to be friends and all. I mean, what's wrong with that? But to just really hook up almost as a boyfriend and girlfriend that can't possibly ever fuck is weird.
Yeah. Well, it's like a pilot fish where they're licking stuff off the shark.
Okay. The shark tolerates it.
They serve a purpose in nature for each other.
It's called a symbiotic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see the gay guy helping out the fag hag for shoes, clothing, house decor, things like that. What is the fag hag doing for the gay guy.
She's preventing him from being beaten up as he walks down the street by a gang of ruffians.
Okay.
And he gets to use the word cunt, where he
That's
was before, and act like your cunt stinks. They love to yell them at.
You know, when I was living in Chelsea, and all around me were apartments that the city subsidized for AIDS patients to live in. So I was surrounded by AIDS-ridden homosexuals.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah, it was interesting.
That's, yeah.
And they all had fag hags that were party girls that would hang out with them, and they'd live in their apartment, because this was free rent places. So
they would walk the dog, make the broth.
Yeah. So one night, my now wife, when we were just going out, we're sleeping, and there's this gay guy, and all we hear an argument, we only hear his side because he's yelling, and he's going, Doris, you bring these fucking guys here. I'm dying of AIDS.
Oh, God.
You stupid cunt. I'm dying. He was yelling that over and over again. I'm dying of AIDS, you stupid cunt.
Oh, shit.
I'm dying of AIDS. You cunt. They stole my things, the guys you brought. It was terrible. We were just laughing at his gayness, his dyingness, and his friend being a cunt.
What do you think happened to him?
He probably died of AIDS.
Gone.
I'm sure he's dead by now.
Yeah, probably.
The prognosis wasn't good.
Godspeed.
According to him.
All right. Well, Mr. Bennington, again, look at the knowledge we got. They take the cum tissues, put them in a mayonnaise jar, which used to be a mason jar, ship it over to the Holy Land, where we can only speculate what happened.
DHL to the Holy Land.
DHL. Fucking Hasidic cum tissue envelope.
I love that they told him that much, but then they stopped. Oh, well, if you're curious, we actually put it in a mason jar and ship it to Israel. But then what happens? That's none of your business, son.
A DHL plane filled with cum.
Oh, it was late?
To the Holy Land.
They had to go. It was almost sundown.
Yeah, something about that sun going down.
All right, Ronnie B, the great Ronnie B, everyone.
Thank you.
I love
12 o'clock.
At noon, yes.
Right here on 202.
How about his outro there, E-Rock? What do you say? Let's make this sound like a real radio show. Ronnie B's over.
Ron Bennington, expert at large.
So again, I wonder what they do with the cum tissues.
Oh, well, I want to know for sure what that's all about. Why don't we take a break? Louis C.K. playing the Egg in Albany and someplace called...
Do you know what it's called yet?
The Calvin Theater in Northampton.
In Northampton
When
on
are you
Saturday.
there? This Friday,
The
Saturday?
Albany at the Egg on Friday, and the Calvin Theater on Saturday.
Where's the holy shit?
Calvin Theater's in Northampton, Massachusetts.
Oh, Massachusetts.
Yeah,
Guy's rolling a frying pan up with his bare hands.
There's these two brothers who are extremely... They're like have retard strength.
Right.
Jesus.
He rolled a frying pan with his hands.
Rolled, dude.
Bullshit.
No,
he
he's not.
rolled it up.
And he still can't get a decent job because his brain
That's a
doesn't
fake
work
frying
properly.
pan.
No, they're these super strength brothers.
No, stop.
Can someone really do that? I've heard of that before, too.
They just have retard strength. They have
Yeah.
this- Yeah.
Do they classify it as that?
No, but why else would they be on the
Retards.
Today Show?
It's trickery.
If retards only
It'd be great
knew
if they
how
said that
proud
on the
they could
Today
be.
Show. We have a fellow here who has retard strength.
Dude, they could trick...
And you're going to be amazed.
Just off the air. the old test pattern with the Indian on it.
They're on the Today Show because they can fool them a lot better than they can fool us. Come on, there's something up with the frying pan.
It's a rubber frying pan.
That would be a cheesy joke. A little stunt.
How is that possible? Seriously,
If the retards could only have pride in being strong like that, like I don't think their brain really captures that they're strong. You know, when you say retard strength, and they could go, yeah, I kick ass.
I don't think there's really retard strength.
Yeah, there is.
No, there's not.
They'd give up all that strength just to know which one the left foot goes in.
They give all that up to be able to stop wearing Velcro shoes.
Yeah. Just to once be able to
lace up like a man.
Give it up for one good haircut.
That's it.
They'd give it up just to once know what they're really laughing at. They'd give it up once just to not mistake a human being for a balloon.
Do you think it's retard strength or the fact that they'd have no real fear not an understanding of danger enough where they'll just keep like wailing on you. Or
no, there's no retard strength. It's just
they're very strong.
Is that made up? The idea of retard strength is funny, and I'm happy to buy into it. But
It's funny.
Just about once a year, you got to mention that it doesn't exist.
Really?
Would you agree?
Because I also heard they got giant hogs.
They do.
Oh well, some of them I'm sure. The reason you know that, the reason you think that is because they freely show their dicks to people.
Yes.
So the ones you hear about are the ones with the huge hogs.
Would you agree to a fight with a retard?
To a fight with
Wow.
I wouldn't agree.
Why?
You mean just
If you
say
don't- if
just
you
a
don't
blank
believe in
check? I'll fight a retard.
If you don't believe in retard strength, then fight a retard.
I
That's
won't
true.
because I don't fight just anybody I think I can fight. Like,
Are there
I heard those
retard
guys are weak.
boxers?
Are there retard
Retard boxers?
Well, Mike Tyson is retarded.
Okay, by retard, I do mean like people with Down syndrome.
I don't think they let those things box.
They are people. I'm just wondering if they...
You know, when I worked at Conan writing there, and we did a thing with Bob Costas where we had him do when he had a show where he interviewed people on NBC. So we used to do tonight on Costas. Here's what he's doing. We do fake promos. So we wanted him to be interviewing what's left of the Wizard of Oz cast, and it was going to be a tree and a what do you call it? A munchkin. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Munchkin. And I played the tree, but we asked our casting person for an old midget. And she said, those things don't live very long.
Holy shit.
She actually said that.
Those things
don't live very long.
God bless her.
Oh, fuck.
Hey, with that, why don't we take a quick break? So Louis C.K. in studio, and we'll continue in just a bit. God bless her.
Test one.
Dude, it's not like we have Zeppelin in the studio. It's Lynch. It should be good enough. What? Do what?
Nice. That's your sound check.
Dude, I don't... 4, 1... Oh, count? 1, 2, 3, 4? 1, 2... All right, up or low? Okay.
Oh, well.
All right. This is a Bible song. All right, here it is. Stephen Lynch.
It's about a little-known biblical character. Everyone knows Jesus, the man who healed the lame. Well, I am Jesus' brother. Craig is my name. Jesus is the Prince of Peace. Jesus is the Lamb. Jesus is the Son of God, but Craig don't give a damn. Because when Craig's inside, we'll party all damn night. I don't turn water into wine, but into cold Coors Light. I'm not my brother, I know, don't walk on H2O, but I got hydroponic shit that me and Judas grow. I'm fucking Craig. I'm fucking Craig. I'm fucking Craig. Craig Christ. I hang out with lepers, Barabbas and Salome. Jesus' friends are called apostles. Those dudes are totally gay. Jesus is the Prince of Peace. No, wait, I already did that line.
What is it? Oh, my God. How are we going to replay this a million times on our show? You messed it up.
Oh, yeah, I know what it is.
All right, go.
Jesus performs miracles from Galilee to Rome. But it would be a miracle if it brought a fucking lady home. Because while Jesus is praying, fucking Craig is laying. Every lady in the testament, you know what I'm saying. I won't die for your sin like my famous kin. But if you got a little sister, then there's room at this end. I'm fucking Craig. I'm fucking Craig. I'm fucking Craig. Craig Christ. Craig Christ. Jesus was our mother's fave. All her love to him she gave. But there's no sibling rivalry when he's nailed to that tree. Yeah. And now the question for you is not what would Jesus do, but where will you be when the Craig machine comes by? body and through. And if the Lord will allow, you got to ask yourself how and who and why and when and where is your Messiah now? It's fucking Craig. Fucking Craig. Fucking Craig. Fucking Craig. Craig Christ. Craig Christ. Craig Christ. I'm fucking Craig.
Yeah, right on, man. Woo! Stephen Lynch on the Opie and Anthony Show.
Your sinuses.
Hey, everybody, it's Stephen Lynch.
1, 2.
I have herpes. It's the Opie and Anthony Show.
Higher boy. Breaking the law. Breaking the law. Hey, at 11 o'clock, are we replaying the ostrich story? Yes. We are, all right. One of the dudes was in here last year when Jorgensen, was his name, right? Al Jorgensen. Remember Uncle Al, stories with Uncle Al?
Yes.
Remember the guy that was in here with him? Were you here for that, Jimmy?
No. I heard about it, though.
Yeah, he came in and they were discussing how they fucked an ostrich at a zoo once. Well, one of the guys that was in that day is now dead.
Oh.
He's dead, and he sat right there in the old studio. He died. Where's our expert? Where's Steve? Steve knows about Paul Raven,
I'm
right?
still in mourning. So there's a guy who you knew, and now he's part of the dirty earth.
Yeah. Was he the one that fucked the ostrich, though?
No, the keyboard tech was the one that fucked the ostrich. Paul Raven was the bass player.
What was he talking about that day?
He was...
Sounds like that's what he did in the band. He was the bass player, and he fucked the ostrich. It was a great act.
That was a crazy show because we had Rebecca Love and Sunset Thomas were also in that day with Al and Paul. So I don't remember what the hell they were talking about, but the ostrich story stood out.
And Paul died of what? A heart attack?
They're saying heart attack. That's what the press release said.
And he sat right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's creepy. Well, we're going to replay that very, very, very famous moment from our show, man. One of the funniest things ever. Them talking about fucking an ostrich on acid or something like that. But one of the guys that was in that day is dead at the age of 46. Who did he play for? I know Ministry, but who else?
But he played for Killing Joke. He played for Mission UK, I think, and a bunch of other bands. How'd your parents die?
And a bunch of other bands no one gives a shit about.
That's terrible. I'm
Although
sorry.
Ministry's pretty cool. There you go. Cool. All right.
How'd your parents die?
All right.
That's terrible. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
All right. Get lost.
Get lost.
No, I like Steve. Thank
you.
you.
Steve from the band Foundry.
Hey, Louis,
would you Pendulum?
Would you ever use a cattle prod on your kid?
No.
I don't know if we play this. I'm going to get this out of the way.
Cattle prods are usually used on cows.
Wow.
According to authorities in Kansas...
The news? You dumb
They did not just say cattle prods.
Cattle prods
are usually
blow-dried cunt.
Wait till you hear this, kids, but they're usually
used on cows. That made more sense.
Cattle prods are usually used on cows. But according to authorities in Kansas, a mother is accused of using the electric shocking device to discipline her 15-year-old daughter.
The girl told us that the cattle prod was used on her twice on the arm, twice on the thigh, and twice in her chest area. It's my understanding that she may have came home late, or mom thought she was later, and used that as a form of discipline.
Saline County authorities found the girl while searching for 2 other runaways, though she had not been reported missing. She told deputies that she ran away because of the abuse.
If you want to get a child's attention, there's other ways to do it than that.
Officials say that the abuse started in February and ended last week. The teen's mother, 52-year-old Connie Thompson Dupes, was arrested. Dupes is out on bail, and the teen is now in foster care.
Oh, Christ. Does it feel good Mondays already? I don't know. I like that the abuse started in February. It's like Woody Allen's thing. My parents only beat me once. They began beating me in 1943 and finished in 1952 or whatever. Jesus Christ. Fucking dirty Kansas horror.
A cattle prod. Maybe the daughter was a little out of hand.
Maybe she was really fat.
Yeah,
she was fat. Maybe she thought it was a cow.
Yeah, maybe there was some confusion there.
Maybe she thought the cow came home late.
His name was Elsie. Her fucking fat retard tits really leaking milk.
We should have stopped wearing that blue ribbon, you fat cunt.
She didn't know.
Why are you fucking throwing grass up into your mouth and chewing it?
Exactly.
Disgusting pig.
Cud chewing bitch.
Exactly. You're eating the shag rug, stupid. She had 4 little hooves. Fucking. They were just brown fucking shoes, but they looked like hooves. On Fat Elsie, the ribbon wearing leaky titted twat.
Leaky titted twat.
So the mother didn't know. She was like, go out in the yard. Parents thought it was a miracle because it was a talking cow.
Well, it's finally time for the feel-good story of the day. It's Feel-Good Story Monday before we do Line of the Day. And we got it. It's an easy one today. It's this fine little story. Your feel-good story.
Tonight's top story, the truth about what really happened the night a tiny baby was bitten by a puppy. It's a story you'll only see right here on
What really happened the night
Oh, God,
That's so weird because he just explained what really happened when a tiny baby was bitten by a puppy.
By a puppy.
Actually, the puppy fucked the baby in the mouth and shit in its eye.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, the whole story's pretty much done.
Yeah.
And then it's a story you'll only hear here on CB.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, so?
Because you
am I
dug
tuning
deeper
in
than
for?
the other news channels. That's the
Yeah.
only reason we're hearing it there.
We actually visited the house inappropriately. And long after everyone had left them alone, we squeezed one more detail out of their retarded brother. He told us that the puppy is gay.
Well, I want to know now what happened.
Hey, no offense to Mark Sparks from Arizona. He's giving us a little more info on Paul Raven, and I swear he wrote this. Paul Raven played in Killing Joke on most of their most famous albums. What's the problem with that sentence?
The fact that he didn't, because Killing Joke's albums, the ones that were really famous and the ones that were completely unknown, have the same level of notoriety.
Most of their most famous albums. What does that mean?
They have no famous albums.
He needs to stop.
Killing Joke on most of their most famous albums. Okay, look, I've been doing radio since 18. I know people get pissed when I say that, but we got just a bunch of guys around here that kind of know music. I don't know what Louis listens to. I sort of know what Jimmy listens to. Ant and I listen to different stuff. I challenge one person in this studio to come up with one Killing Joke song.
Or one Killing Joke album. I can't think of
say
another
you,
album.
Danny. You're not in the studio.
Danny's running in.
All right, we'll have
he
you on
tried to be
standby.
in studio before you said that.
Trace It Back is a big song for them.
How many albums could they possibly have? They have to have for most of their most famous albums.
Right.
They better have 45 albums.
And that means they probably had at least 4 famous albums.
Yeah.
All right, name one album Killing Joke did.
They can't.
Name one album.
Yeah.
Louis.
Trace It Back.
Shut up with Trace It Back. That's hysterical. The brown chair.
Trace It Back's a good one.
Yeah, what do you got, Danny?
Abbey Road, that was their
Hey, you guys probably know one of their...
I know Lightning Rod.
No.
I know that one.
How about this one? Shoed Horse. Shoed Horse! It's supposed to be like you think he's wearing a shoe, but it's like they shoot it away out of the way.
There was a Lightning
Attack?
Rod.
Stress Attack, right?
Lip Service was another one. Let's see.
No idea.
City Hall. I'm just picking names off the front of the newspaper.
Metallica covered one of their songs, put it on one of their compilations. And
that's it, man?
No, it's actually called The Wait. And if you heard a piece of it, you'd probably recognize it.
All right, so we might have heard a piece of one of their songs. Okay,
in a remake
by a different band.
Like how many albums did Killing Joke have?
I'm not that big of a.
And who are they famous with?
I don't know. They had 13
Killing Joke
albums.
fans. Yeah, I get
13 albums. Wow.
This
What
is
this?
Wait.
Is this Metallica or? Thank you, E-Rock.
Yeah, this is Metallica. This is Metallica's version.
Yeah. You're just staring stupidly.
Chewing cud.
Chewing cud. Someone hit him with a cattle prod.
Yeah, that's really original.
Yeah.
I like the beat.
All right.
All right, we get it. It's the beginning of the song.
All right.
Get to it.
This is nice.
He's playing the rejoiner.
Here comes the vocals. See?
They're almost saying these songs.
Wait, is that
I've never heard this song before.
I don't know them.
No, it's the original. My bad.
I like this.
Oh, yeah, I would listen to this. I don't know it, though. Maybe I'll start taking a peek at Killing Joke.
Let's hear what happens now. Hold on.
It's about to change. There it goes. Never heard it.
Fight the serpent!
Yeah?
Right back
to the simple part.
Yeah.
I like this.
All right, we got Killing Joke fans checking in.
It's like white supremacist music.
Hold on. Their most famous song.
Oh, shit.
Now someone's pointing out their most famous song. So let's see with the guys in the room here if one of us knows this song. That's I'm not. By the way, and people saying Killing Joke rule. All right, that's fine. I just don't know them, and I don't think anyone else in this room knows them. Love Like Blood is their most famous song, according to one of these guys.
Backdraft Alley. Backdraft Alley was a big one.
Backdraft.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna play.
Blood Snake was a good one too.
We're gonna play Love Like Blood or what? Are we?
The Mump-Necked Idiot was a big song. Called Mump's Neck.
Mump's Neck.
Here's Mump's Neck Murphy.
All right, here's Love Like Blood.
Are these guys from the 90s or something? I don't even know what they are. This is like the beginning of some cop movie with a street.
Yeah. Starring.
Yeah, exactly.
They show him going through some forensic stuff.
Yeah.
And then they freeze frame it.
It's a big song called Quincy.
Shaky camera of like the sirens. And
Yeah.
What are they, modern English? This sucks.
Fucking flock of seagulls.
Yeah. This
One
blows.
of my submarines is missing.
The Thompson twins.
I'm kind of British sounding and very gay.
They had
I
me.
am from the 90s. Gay. It's fucking boring. This is fucking corny. Molly Ringwald movies.
All right. And people are getting
Shot
pissed.
harsh with one glove on.
People are getting pissed. Stop talking about music. It makes you guys sound stupid.
No. It makes us sound stupid if we goof on a band that you like.
Yeah.
Dumb
Exactly.
fuck.
Shut up.
I love that. Makes you sound stupid. No, you just like the band and you don't like hearing us rag on it, so shut up. What do we got to know every fucking...
people that think that you have to have this encyclopedic knowledge of like, well, as if you didn't know the Killing Joke preceded Nirvana by 14.
Yeah,
I don't
you
care.
just sound stupid. Shut up.
Somebody else do it.
I like the tune every so often.
What happened?
Tummies.
Travis has more info on Killing Joke.
Of course he does.
Yeah. What else
does that
about
mean?
all the chicks like Killing Joke.
Yeah.
What else about them?
I'm a dude.
Oh.
Killing Joke sued Nirvana.
Nice tits, faggot.
I didn't know.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sued Nirvana.
What song did they rip them? Supposedly they ripped off Killing Joke.
They ripped off 80s for their Come As You Are riff. Well, that's what Killing Joke said. Then they dropped the lawsuit once
Is this
Kurt
it?
Cobain died.
Is this 80s?
Jesus. Jesus.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's fucking... Whoa. Come as you are.
That's a little close.
That's pretty bad.
That is a little
Does it change
close.
the same way too? Because then the Nirvana one has that part where it goes, and I don't want to go.
It's close. It's more the sound.
It's just that one riff.
That one riff.
That one riff is really, really close. Did they win the
it's
lawsuit?
not even. It's just but then a guitar does something a little different. And
I like the beats of these guys a lot.
Yeah, they're actually good. I like them.
But I don't like their fucking whiny Thompson twins sounding voice.
No.
Wow,
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I heard that before, but I never heard the song that they were claiming Nirvana ripped off until today. See, we're educating ourselves and maybe some listeners about this killing joke.
They dropped the lawsuit when Kurt Cobain died.
They did?
Yeah,
Why?
That's just
so
what it says
stupid.
according to Wikipedia.
But that's when you go into the lawsuit more because you're not going to
Now you're
offend
fighting
the guy.
Yeah, now you're just fighting Warner Brothers.
The corporation man.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, that guy's now dead.
I love that George Harrison stole a song from.
Oh God, My Sweet Lord!
It's so awesome that he made a spiritual song about the about Ravi Shankar or whatever and Hare Krishna, and he stole it from the Supremes.
Out of
asshole.
Dulang.
You fucking thief!
Did he steal that?
Yeah,
it's so obvious.
They played it in court. He lost huge amounts of money on it.
Yeah,
he had to pay big money to those people.
Yeah, My Sweet Lord is whatever that song is.
Yeah.
He's so fine.
He's so fine, my sweet Lord.
It's the same song.
I never want to leave.
Yeah, it didn't even change it.
Not even even throughout the song, all the different.
Yeah, when it goes
stages.
from the verse to the chorus to that, it's the same fucking song.
Key changes.
And it's fucking terrible. His song is terrible.
Hey, a black listener is asking for "Come as You Are" because he has no clue what we're talking about.
We want to apologize to our black listeners today.
Well, just to help the guy out. Do you have a taste of "Come as You Are"? Real fast.
Taste of cum? What?
As you are.
It's in my tissue.
Pretty damning.
There you go. Enough. All right.
That's all you need.
Here's your feel-good story of the day.
A puppy. It's a story you'll only see right here on Eyewitness News everywhere. A 5-month-old boy's genitals were mutilated, and there is outrage about what happened. First of all, let's ask about the baby, Joyce.
How's a feel-good story?
Yeah, it's a feel-good story.
There's outrage about what happened.
Why is there outrage?
As genitals.
Let's ask about the baby, Joyce. How's he doing tonight?
Cameron, tonight the baby's
Dude, his genitals are chewed.
Well,
his genitals are gone.
Apartment complex where the attack happened, people are still talking about it 9 days later.
Nah, man.
It's crazy.
I'm pretty
I can't
far
believe
from
a puppy
fucking
could
okay.
chew the private part, everything off a baby. I don't think that's possible.
Oh, no.
I don't believe that a puppy could chew the private parts off of a baby.
Off a baby.
But I'm glad he did, because otherwise I didn't have much to do today. And now I'm on the news. You know, she was at home with, oh, honey, come in here. I'm on the news talking about the dog eating that baby's balls.
Attack happened, people are
Let's
still
hear that
talking about it 9 days later.
Of course they are.
It's crazy. I can't believe a puppy could chew the private part, everything off a baby. I don't think that's possible.
I think it's possible.
I don't think I don't think that's possible.
What do you think dicks are made out of? Tinfoil and metal? You fucking idiot. They're made of flesh. Puppies have teeth.
Probably comes off easier from a baby than like an old dude.
And I'm sure a puppy would that's kind of like a play toy thing for a puppy.
Yeah, and a baby doesn't have much defense.
No. It goes and it hits its own head.
Just sit there and
cock is being mangled. Fucking stupid baby.
And now they got to grow up together, the baby and the puppy.
The puppy, accused of mutilating the infant's genitals, is at the Memphis Animal Shelter. And neighbors aren't the only ones who say there's no way a dog could do such a thing to a child.
What?
This email, circulating around Memphis newsrooms right now, claims the puppy didn't do it. The writer of this email says that the baby's genitals are completely gone. Scooped out, says this person, with a straight-edge knife or razor by someone who cops say may have done it as possible gang retaliation against the baby's mother or someone related to her.
Holy shit.
Jesus Christ.
Come on now.
She's stepping on my fucking... She was stepping in our neighborhood.
Yeah, you're on my turf.
You wore a blue fucking kerchief on my street. I'm gonna scoop out your baby's balls and blame it on your puppy.
Grab a 5-iron and take a divot out of your kid.
What do you fucking do to a gang where the punishment is to take your baby's dick
Oh, well, you disrespected them.
Yeah,
you made your fingers do a funny sign near their house.
Right.
And all you want to do is pick their nose. You didn't know.
If you bump into one of them and maybe look like perhaps the guy shouldn't have walked into you, that deserves your kid getting his dick cut off.
Fucking worthless assholes.
Oh,
They
jackasses.
should firebomb the entire apartment complex if that's the truth.
Awful.
Yeah.
Related to her. But tonight, Memphis police tell me everything in that email is fiction, completely untrue.
It's been ruled an animal injury. The injury was caused by an animal.
It's amazing how we all jump on that immediately.
Yeah,
It's
I know,
just nonsense.
Yeah, it's all fiction. No, it's not.
Well, that's what everybody in the Memphis living rooms did when it came on the news. You see what those fucking people do? I told you about those people. You called me rape. Oh, okay, it wasn't true.
Oh, not true. Well, I'll never forget it. Stupid, stupid dogs.
Still, though.
Tonight,
it does happen.
If they remains unclear. As for the baby boy, hospital sources say he faces a very long and difficult road to recovery.
Where was the mom at all this time? Because I know it just didn't happen in no split second. It had to go on for a while, and I know that baby was crying.
She's imagining
where was she at?
It's a baby dick. I could bite it off in one shot. How long do you think it takes? This is not the finger off a fucking statue in Columbus Circle.
Where was the mom at? Well, the answer to that will have to come from the MPD's Child Advocacy Group and the Department of Children's Services. Both agencies still investigating this case, working very closely with the family to get some answers.
That's on peanut butter.
Mother was tiptoeing the Jeff quietly back into the fridge.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Well, I don't want to know where the mom was when all this happened.
Hope that was fucking Ellen's dog, Iggy.
Oh,
that fucking bit the genitals off its new owner. Iggy's a cunt, and fuck Ellen.
Ellen should shove her own cunt into her cunt. I don't know. I get so mad at her. It's the most bogus fucking thing that she ever did. It just makes me sick.
Look,
because
she was absolutely crying.
She's pretending that she didn't know that people would bother that's what you wanted to happen.
Yeah.
Because when I watched the thing, she's saying, I just need to get this off my chest, but while I'm doing it, I'm going to tell you the name of the organization and the woman's name, and I'm going to give you all the details so that you can threaten them.
Make your death threats.
So I can use my power fucking inappropriately. What?
She was right.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, because the problem is this. Someone like that woman, the woman who did the dog shelter thing was one of those cunts who just my way or the highway.
Well, no, but she has a right to that. She's got her organization and she has rules, and she gets to make a call. But when the other party has a fucking national TV show to use against you, it's just not fair. It's just not,
That's good.
Here's what I think.
It was called for.
There's
probably
some kind of legal.
She should have come on and said, "Hey, I'm mad at this woman. I want you all to call her," instead of coming on and fucking crying and pretending to be. And she wasn't that sad. And she gave the dog as a present to her fucking cunt lesbian fucking girlfriend. And then she fucking spent. And I spent $3,000 getting someone else to train it. And then it didn't work. So I want to give it. I don't know. I didn't buy any of it.
I think it's cute when she dances in the beginning, though.
I think it shows that she's just like us.
Hope Iggy does that
Except
dance
for that
as a
she
clock
eats
backs over his
vaginas
feet.
and she has one. No. It's like, why am I being?
Look at her
I'm
dancing.
being anti-lesbian just because I hate her.
Now
for that.
all I could think of is her crying over stupid Iggy. Look at the people dancing with her. Oh,
it was
stop
fake.
with your goddamn dancing.
It was fake.
I don't know. I think that
she was angry, so she acted sad because she was pissed off at that woman because she didn't get what she wanted. She's a spoiled fucking celebrity.
Probably right.
She's rich and famous, so she thinks she should be able to do something differently than other people. If you go to adopt a dog, there's protection in line. And,
I know.
And if you're not a celebrity, you don't get your way. But she thinks she does.
But also,
and then other people end up fucking with that woman's life for whatever little rule that you think she shouldn't have been so stringent about. She doesn't deserve to be threatened.
Yeah, she does. She did
by a nation.
Nah, she did. She was one of those people that just you deal with all the time, like a civil servant.
Yeah, but
she
they
had
get
that
to be that
mentality.
way.
No, they do, but they never have consequences. And now you get your life
That's a
threatened.
little out of proportion.
You know what?
It's a little out of proportion.
There's probably some kind of legal bullshit that says that if the fucking she gives the dog away and it eats a kid's fucking balls off,
it goes back to
that you could sue the fucking company that
Here's the problem
gave you the dog.
She has the rules for a reason because a lot of people adopt
she's a
dogs.
cunt.
A lot of people adopt dogs on a whim. And then they don't keep like her. She adopted the dog on a whim, and then decided once she was faced with dealing with it that she didn't want it. So they drop it off on a highway or give it to an inappropriate family. That happens all the time, and dogs get killed and abused that way. So this woman has a rule. Anybody that adopts dogs does that. And why she's supposed to go, oh, but it's Ellen DeGeneres, so she must have good judgment because she's rich and because she has a show.
I hope the thing just fucking Hershey syrup diarrhea all over one of her fucking expensive rugs.
No, Ellen DeGeneres' hairdresser couldn't possibly be a problem person. No, fuck you. So what if you're rich and you have a show?
I'm still glad she did it. And that fucking woman, I hated her. When I heard her explanation, I didn't like her.
Yeah.
I gave her a chance.
That's fine. I don't like that woman either, probably. I don't know.
I was happy.
Probably.
I bet I hate her.
But she doesn't have her, doesn't mean she deserves that from this fucking woman.
She's been a cunt her whole life.
This has been really awful and I just want it to go away, but still give the dog back.
Yeah.
Fucking.
They're not going to give the dog back either.
No, who cares? Just get another dog.
They should just
go.
Fucking gas it like the old days.
And she wasn't sad that her hairdresser, I don't think she gives a shit about her hairdresser's kids and that dog. She's just mad that she's Ellen.
Didn't get her way.
She didn't get her way. So she's like, oh, let's see what's going to happen to you. And I'm going to go on and cry and make people feel bad. And you're going to change your tune.
Throw it in one of those gas chambers like they put Petey in from the Little Rascals when Stymie needed $5 to get him out.
Yeah,
and he went to gas him. I'm going to kill that dog. Like the adults on those Little Rascal things are the worst fucking human beings ever. It's like, please, mister, that's my dog. And I'm like, well, I'm going to gas him. The kid, you were horrified of those people.
Exactly.
Let's do the line of the day and get the hell out of here.
Line of that.
Louis C.K. at the Egg in Albany.
Yep. Yes.
On Friday.
That's right. And Saturday at the
Aggie Weg.
The Calvin Theater in Northampton.
Aggie Wegs.
All on the website, right, Louis?
Will it be then? All on louisck.com.
All right, very good. It's line of the day brought to you by BowDogFantasy.net. If you're playing fantasy football this year, you should go to BowDogFantasy.net. BowDogFantasy.net. What?
Oh, it's fine.
We don't need to do the whole plug every time.
Nah, as long as they hear
it's new today. They're very excited.
Fantasy. Oh,
what's new?
Playing
it's a slightly different wording.
That's the exact same thing, isn't it?
Wait, there's what?
The name.
I love the people at BowDogFantasy.net, trust me, but they're excited about their new copy that looks exactly like their old copy.
I might have exaggerated their excitement on the matter.
Basically, if you play fantasy football, BowDogFantasy.net is a great place to go.
Yes.
That's all the people need to know.
But
they say if you're playing fantasy football...
That's the new.
This year, do the smart thing and head over to BowDogFantasy.net for everything you need to win this season.
And this is the old one.
And this is the old one.
See, it's a little different.
Free live scoring stats, bios, and news that will help you win big this season in fantasy football. Oh, I see the difference.
So now you can do the smart thing.
Yeah.
And
they're just cutting out the details and making it more slogany.
It's just smart to go there if you play fantasy football.
Of course it is.
Sure it is.
Who doesn't know that? At this
Who
point,
haven't heard you say that yet?
No,
they got excited about their new copy, huh?
I don't think they were that excited.
Wow, man,
it had just been a while, so
they should just stay excited that they get to advertise on the Opie and Anthony show. That's what their excitement should be all about. That we're pumping the shit out of their BowDogFantasy.net.
Is that what they want to hear? We're pumping the shit out of it.
Yeah, why not? They have a sense of humor, right?
I hope so.
Fantasy football, BowDogFantasy.net. A fine marriage. How's that?
Oh, that's
Tell them
good.
they could use that without paying me. A fine marriage. Here's a runner-up line of the day.
It's weird to me.
And stop asking me if I know what you're saying. What is this fucking regarding Henry? I have a head wound no one told me about. That's fucking like mundane shit. Like I just came to your house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why the fuck wouldn't I know what you're saying, you black bastard?
That was really funny, man. Very fine reference. Jay Moore, everyone. Good. Another runner-up line of the day. Here it is.
They push a half a log out through a thong. It splits like a fucking velociraptor's foot. It looks like a sleestack foot. A log when it shits through a tight thong.
Do you think it would curl at the ends too, like an exploded cigar? Oh, wow.
A 1-2 punch there.
Group effort.
A 1-2 punch. Very good. BowDogFantasy.net. Thank you. Louis C.K. Thank you. Here is your line of the day.
Here comes the line of the day, line of the day.
That's
My
why
snotty
Hasids
tissues.
don't use Mexicans to clean their place, because they'll throw away. You threw my cum away, you fucking. You dirty spick. You threw away my cum. What am I going to say to God now, you fucking dirty spick?
A new ending, too. Very good. Louis C.K., it's always a pleasure. Got to get the F out of here today. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
There is a new element of vulgarity.
Opie and Anthony is outrageous.
Fuck you. Moral anarchy. Fuck you.
Damages our children.
Go fuck yourself.
And diminishes their future.
Evil.
This is a tragedy for the society.